Football Fridays in Georgia, presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to buckle up, Georgia, as we welcome you to Raider Valley in East Cobb, where tonight the 5-0 North Paulding Wolfpack have traveled to take on the 4-0 and 5th-ranked Walton Raiders. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by former Auburn Tigers All-American, NFL first-round draft pick, and 15-year pro Wayne Gandy. And Wayne, after semifinal finishes and quarterfinal finishes the last 2 years for this Walton team, folks around here feel like they may finally have the ingredients to bring this Raiders program its first state championship.
Walton comes in with a big offense and an improved defense, and this North Paulding team comes in 5-0, looking for respect, trying to make sure you know that this 5-0 is not a fluke.
Well, let's start with the Walton Raiders, averaging a state-leading 58 points per game and led by their quarterback, Jeremy Hecklinski, who's approaching 7,000 career passing yards and committed to Wake Forest.
A three-star headed to Wake Forest, 6'1", big arm, talented, and his leadership has been key for this season. He can make all the throws. He has a lot of tools in the toolbox. Watch for him for the deep ball tonight.
Defensive improvement has been the biggest story for the Raiders this season, and in particular with Wendell Gregory, who's committed to South Carolina.
6'3", 220. He can play inside. He can rush the passer, and his coach talks about his biggest improvement is the light is on and is bright. He's making plays. He's focused, and this defense is humming.
Now, this is a North Paulding team on the cusp of greatness. They've won 8 of their last 10 games since a 51-49 shootout loss to this Walton team last season. And they're led by 5'7" quarterback Tyler Neer, who's number 2 in 7A in passing.
The best 5'7" quarterback in the state of Georgia, can throw the ball, completing 54%, which is good for a sophomore. Tonight, he might have to make some plays with his feet to try to defeat this defense.
And on the defensive side of the ball, perhaps the best twin combination on defense in the entire state, Aiden and Ethan Maddox.
Maddox and Maddox, the law firm playing defense. Write the name down. One of these two players, Aiden off the edge, Eden in the middle, is going to make some big plays for this defense. These two twins are shining stars.
So should be a fun one. North Paulding, Walton playing for the 4th consecutive year. Let's get the carousel started and send it off to John Nelson.
Good evening, Matt. Good evening, Wayne. Good evening to all of you. However you're accessing this large device or small, let's kind of dive into North Paulding a little bit. In the 4 years that Don Stark has been there has been the progression that you would associate with patience with a head coach. 2 wins, 4 wins, 7-4 last season, and a region title and an appearance in the postseason. Add to that what we've seen this season with the undefeated start at the halfway point. He was talking to his players one day, and he said, you know what? I think we are the Rodney Dangerfield of 7A football coming out of Region 3. He got a lot of blank stares because his players didn't know who Rodney Dangerfield was. So as a public service, the star of Back to School and Caddyshack, no respect. They get no respect at all. I think that's what Coach Stark was talking about here. And Hannah, what about the respect for the Walton side of things? What's going on over there?
Ah, John, they're young kids. Of course they don't know who he is. All right, over on the Walton sideline, things are a little quiet tonight. It's the Raiders' fall break, so not a lot of fans here, and neither band is here. But we talked to Coach Bruner before the game, and he said they are going to rally their own energy, so look for that. We are not only broadcasting here from Raider Valley, we are live from Calhoun for the Cartersville versus Calhoun game. That is our web game. You can watch it at gbb.org/sports or the GBB Sports app. Now, while you're on the app, don't forget to download it first. Here's the QR code, and vote for our poll question of the night, which is who's going to win this game, North Paulding or Walton. So go vote right now. Okay, guys, I will see you at halftime, where we will have the Make That Kid an Offer segment, as well as the You Save It Pharmacy Georgia Player Spotlight. We'll hear from the principals, give you score updates, that and much more. Until then, Matt and Wayne, take it away.
Looking forward to that, Hannah. The Walton Raiders won the opening toss, and so they have elected to receive to start this game. So, Wayne, we get to see this high-powered offense right off the bat here at Raider Valley tonight.
So much talent in the skill position, but this offensive line is what's been key up front for this offense. That's what's giving the protection to get the ball down the field. Just excited to see Hecklinski and this offense go to work.
Opening kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia seat belts save lives. Aiden Noble has it teed up and ready to kick off. He's probably going to try some kind of a lob kick, a pop-up kick here to try to keep it away from Sonderman. And Bam standing deep. Bam Bride. They angle the kick over where Sonderman is. He takes it on a hop at the 17-yard line, and he is driven out of bounds at the 23 by Carlisle, and that's where the Raiders will go on offense for the first time tonight. And Jeremy Hecklinski, how much more can we say about the 6-foot, 180-pound senior, third-year starter, committed to Wake way back last December 14th over 3 other offers, including UCF, consensus 3-star quarterback, 67 touchdowns, just 22 interceptions in his career.
68% this year completion rate, not the big numbers yardage-wise, but 12 touchdowns, only 1 interception, doing a great job.
Bodiford lines up behind him and gets the first handoff, and Bodiford smashing through tackles all the way up to the 37-yard line, picked up 13 on the play.
Great job getting to the backside right here by Bodiford. And this is the kind of back he is. He's not going to avoid contact. 6 feet, 205-pound, physical, tough runner.
And with that 13-yard run, Bodiford has gone over 3,000 rushing yards for his career. Hecklinski being chased by Maddox. Got away from Ethan Maddox, throws downfield, and nearly intercepted by Dylan Haar, the cornerback, as we take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Regions. Get back in the game with Regions Bank. And for the Raiders up front, Calhoun, one of the top offensive linemen in the entire country. Kruger, Pruitt, Burris, and Trainer. The back is Bodiford, the wide receivers Sonderman, Teal, Bride, and Lloyd. All of them really good. Maybe the deepest wide receiver room they've had since Daniel Bruner has been here over the last 7 seasons. Bodiford looking to bounce outside. Big gain for Bodiford across the 50-yard line.
Great job right there. Makari Bodiford, the senior, nowhere really to go with this up the middle. Bouncing it to the outside, getting out of the tackle of Carrington Bird. And as I said on the first run, will not avoid contact. He will finish the run. Part of that country strong that Coach Bruner talked about when you talk about Makari Bodiford.
17-yard pickup for the Memphis committed to the Tigers back during the summer. Hecklinski loses the ball, and the Wolfpack have recovered at the 50. So the first turnover of the game goes to the Wolfpack as Austin Kowalski, the linebacker, comes up with the fumble by Hecklinski.
Looks like a counter tray here. Read option there and just didn't feel comfortable. Trying to run the ball, had it like a loaf of bread. Low got knocked out there. As you can see there by Ethan Maddox, as we talked about, one of those guys that's always around the ball. And Austin Kowalski picking it up.
So 1st and 10 for the Wolfpack from the 50, and their 5'7" quarterback, Tyler Neer. He's thrown for over 1,200 yards, number 2 in all of 7A. Going to go to the air on the first play and nearly intercepted, and maybe it was. It was intercepted right back as Ethan Stannard, the dog safety, comes up with the pick.
Great job of breaking on this ball here. Quick route, reading the route the whole way right there is Ethan Stannard. You saw him looking at the quarterback, only a 3-step drop there by Neer. And what a job of breaking on that ball, coming up with that interception for his team.
So the Raiders right back on offense, and this has been the big difference in this Raiders team today. Disruptions, the season I should say. Hecklinski to the air, fires and complete. And Sonderman with the first of what will no doubt be many catches for him. It goes for 9 yards to the 44. Regions Bank starting lineups. Brought to you by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions. North Paulding on defense. Maddox, Harris, Elkins, and Daly up front. The linebackers Pitts, Maddox, and Kowalski. And in the secondary, Haar, Roach, Carlisle, and Johnson. 2nd down and 1. Bodiford with his third carry, another big carry for Bodiford. Bodiford's going to be an issue for the Wolfpack tonight as he picks up the first down on a 9-yard carry. Carr made the tackle.
Showing great patience here, following Sam Trainer, who's pulling the patience, making the break, the physical run at the end, already causing trouble for this defense. I think they're going to get a heavy load of Bodiford tonight.
1st and 10 for the Raiders. Bodiford, 4th carry, another gaping hole for him. Offensive line doing a great job of opening up big holes for Bodiford. That's a 12-yard pickup and another Raiders first down.
Good blocking there in the middle of that defense. Nick Dorner inside, Kruger, Pruitt, kick out, block. The thing about Bodiford that sometimes he's shifty in the middle. He has great feet for a power runner.
4 carries, 50 yards already for Bodiford. That's carry number 5 right there. And finally, they get him on the ground as Ethan Maddox comes up with the tackle. Brings up 2nd down and 6 following a 4-yard pickup for Bodiford, who's been the workhorse for the Raiders here tonight. He's been actually splitting times, about a 50-50 split with Austin Williams this season. Bodiford again kicks it outside. Another great tackle by the Wolfpack that time. Great pursuit. Marcus Roach, the safety, comes up to make the tackle.
Nice job of Roach staying upfield, just not letting Makari Bodiford get to the outside, and also Ethan Maddox there crashing in the inside to bring down Bodiford. And as you said, Matt, one of those things where Bodiford is the hot hand right now, but Austin Williams, a little quicker, a little faster back, is in the backfield as well now.
Yeah, he's the lightning to Bodiford's thunder. That was the first TFL for this North Paulding defense. Hecklinski going to step up and run and toss it forward like Patrick Mahomes to Teal. And he's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down with 4th down coming up.
Dangerous pass here for Hecklinski. Didn't feel comfortable trying to work up in the pocket, getting the ball out to Hunter Teal. Very dangerous to throw that pass by the senior quarterback.
4th down and 2. The Raiders going to go for it here. Still plenty of time on the play clock as it just now hits 10. Quick pass, complete to Lloyd. And Lloyd going to get stopped at the 18-yard line and not pick up the first down, or maybe the 13. And he may have the first down right there.
Going to be very, very close right there. Cameron Lloyd, great play action fake, completed the pass. You just want to get upfield, but they're going to give him that first down. But great play selection there by the Raiders.
99th career catch for Lloyd. And Austin Williams gets the handoff that time, runs into Roach.
Little change of pace, putting Austin Williams in there. That lightning, as you said, Matt, to the thunder of Bodiford, but very capable. Came in this game averaging 5.9 yards. And that's the thing that's so dangerous about this offense that Walton has. We know about the quarterback, we know about the receivers, but they can take a ball and eat up the clock, move it running on the ground.
9th play of the drive right here, 2nd down. Austin Williams inside the 10, touchdown, Walton Raiders. 13-yard touchdown run by Austin Williams. Gets Walton on top 6-0.
Outstanding job by Williams, making Marcus Roach right there missing the open field. Good block down the field by the ex-receiver, Wyatt Sunderman. Walk in for Williams.
The kicker is Sebastian Benai. And we're going to have offsides on North Paulding.
Offsides also looks like maybe Walton is going to send their offense back out.
Yeah, Wayne, they cut the distance in half.
Defense, half the distance to the goal, still on time down.
Look at the officiating crew working tonight's non-region matchup here in East Cobb. And now they're going to go for 2 with the ball sitting inside the 2-yard line. Bodiford lines up in a Wildcat quarterback to take a direct snap. And now Heklinski takes it, tosses it forward on the shovel pass to Bodiford, and they get the 2. It's 8-0.
Somebody's been watching the Miami Dolphins offense here. Coach Bruner with a little trickery for the 2-point conversion there for the Raiders.
Austin Williams runs it in from 13 yards out. 8-0 lead for Walton here in the first.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. Time to catch up with our friends from Walton High School, and thanks to our friends from Cigna. Time for the $1,500 donation. Richard Tischler, the principal here at Walton High. Once again, thanks for being a great friend to GPB and a great friend to Football Fridays all year long.
Well, I want to just thank GPTV for joining us here on Raider Valley for Friday Night Football, and I also want to thank Cigna for the generous check and showcasing our outstanding students and our amazing communities. So thank you.
Great to catch up with our friends from Raider Valley. Once again, there's the $1,500 donation. Ladies, take it away if you would, please, as we send it back upstairs to Matt and Wayne for the rest of the first quarter.
Thank you, John. 8-0 lead for Walton as they cap a drive after getting the interception by Standard. Take a look at the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive. 9 plays, 47 yards. A lot of that Bodiford. Austin Williams finishing it off.
Great run, great execution up front by the offensive line, and the backs taking over that drive for the score.
Kick coming down at the 7-yard line. Great return out across the 40. And stepping out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And that's Javarius George, their highest rated and recruited player, with a big return, but we have a flag down on the field. It was a 53-yard return by George. Let's see if it stands.
During the return, illegal block in the back. On the receiving team, 10 yards from the spot of foul, first down.
Wayne, that's a costly penalty because it wipes out a 53-yard return to the other 40-yard line.
Trying to get into that lane, and you could see right there the shove in the back by the Wolfpack, creating that lane. And this is what they need. They need some special teams tonight. They know the high-powered offense that Walton brings, and this team needs that short field. Tough break for them starting this drive.
See the numbers for Tyler Neer coming into the season. Replaced Boone Anderson, their great quarterback from a year ago, led them to a 7-4 record. Neer threw an interception on his first attempt of the game here tonight, and he's thrown 6 picks already this season. Handoff. It's Calvin Scott on the run, and he gets a couple of yards on the play. Tackled by Jake Thorner. As we take a look at North Paulding on offense, brought to you by Regions Bank with Bevins, Beckel, Carpenter, Cotner, and Bennis up front. And the running back is Scott. The wide receivers, George and Inagene. And the tight ends, they play with 2 of them, Autenreith and Anderson. Neer steps up in the pocket, goes deep, and nearly intercepted by Sonderman at the 40-yard line. They had double coverage. Take a look at Walton on defense. Yagokwe, Kruger, Halpus, and Gregory up front. Woods and Thorner, the linebackers. And then McCrary, Sonderman, Stannard, Beard, and Bride in the secondary. Typically Stannard, or make that Beard and Gregory are back on that second line a lot of the times. They go with 3 down linemen. Pass is thrown, it's caught by George, breaks a tackle. Javarius George, foot race. 83-yard touchdown for North Paulding.
It starts off with the protection up front of Tyler Neal. This offensive line, can they hold up right here on this big play? They do. Great protection. 5'7", big arm. What a strike. And then the running ability there of George, running through 2 defenders on the back end, showing you the speed, the big-time player that he is. 11 offers already, but what a player he is. Only 5'10", 160. The play's much bigger than that.
Aiden Noble on for the PAT. The holder is Calvin Scott, and the snapper, Caden Comer. Kick is up and good. We're 8-7. 83-yard strike on a crossing route and a beautiful pass by Neer.
Great job dropping that behind Ashton Woods, and the ability to catch that ball in stride really threw off Wyatt Sonderman, being able to come up and make the tackle. Never having to break stride there was Javarius George. Great touchdown, great answer to the touchdown that Walton had just put on the board as well.
7th career touchdown reception for George, and the 4th for him this season. As you mentioned, he's got 11 offers, including Western Kentucky. Winner over Middle Tennessee State last night.
Impressed with Neer's arm on that throw, and also earlier on the deep pass. When you look at it, you don't see 50 yards in the air out of him physically, but he's showing that he will strike as a young sophomore.
So Noble set to kick it off. Again, they angle the ball to the right side, and it's caught at the 32. Not fair caught. No, it's fair caught by Jude Cascone, and he gets dropped right away, and there's flags down on the field as well at the 34-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back. On the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that's going to push Walton back to the 21-yard line. Wayne, let's take a look at the keys to the game. It's brought to you by Breda Pest Management, official pest control of high school football.
This Walton offense, high octane, be efficient, stay on schedule. For them, that's 4 yards on first down. So far, so good. And on defense, North Paulding, so far in this game, has limited them to the big plays. Make them earn each and every yard. Make them drive the field to try to score.
Austin Williams in there at running back. Hecklinski, and it's dropped at the 32-yard line. That was Lloyd. Had it in his hands and couldn't hold on to it.
Nice read there by Hecklinski, and you could see Lloyd pointing at himself. Ball hit both his hands. He should have been catching and running. A couple of miscues so far by this offense. Turnover, a couple of drops.
Walton has not had a close game yet, winning by an average of 43.5 points per game. Hecklinski dancing around, now finally going to get rid of it. Throws in the direction of Hunter Teal and out of bounds. It's going to be third down. This North Paulding team returned 11 starters on defense, all of them seniors this year.
Veteran group that has gelled together and looking to go out in a big way. They know the challenge they have, and so far, tight coverage, just nowhere to go with the ball. Good protection initially, just nowhere to throw the ball for Hecklinski.
Third down. Bodiford back in there at running back. He's had a good first quarter. Heklinski fires in the middle. It's caught by Teal, and that'll be a first down for the Raiders.
Nice route there by Hunter Teal, the senior, headed to Miami, Ohio. Free release. Good hands. Know he's going to get hit there by Marcus Roach. Just enough to get that first down.
Committed to Miami of Ohio over an offer from UAB. Right up the middle. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage that time as they gang tackle Makari Bodiford.
Little run blitz there by Austin Kowinski there. Ethan Maddox, his buddy at the linebacker spot, helping him clean it up. Very active linebacking crew here for the Wolfpack. You can see they play downhill. They're not sitting pat. They're going to attack and try to stop Makari Bodiford before he hits that line of scrimmage.
Heklinski going to step up and throw downfield, and it is complete to Hunter Teal again at the 44-yard line, 43-yard line. That's going to be a 10-yard pickup. And Hunter Teal is just their steady Eddie wide receiver. He's 6'2", 225, 2 inches taller. He's a power conference tight end.
Definitely great routes with great hands. Not really sure why that 6'2" keeps him from power schools, but what a great pick from Miami, Ohio.
3rd down and 1. Austin Williams, and he's not going to get the first down. North Paulding comes up big at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down.
Good job right there, coming up the field with the pressure, little run blitz, keeping him onside and then getting off blocks and able to get Bodiford down.
Tanner O'Brien on the punt for the Raiders on 4th and 1 from the 42. You wouldn't fake it here, would you?
Too early in the game right now. And I think that North Paulding is playing punt safe here as well. You can see they're not coming with a hard rush.
O'Brien punts it away, and it is not a good punt. Tried to punt it to the far side and kicked it well out of bounds. And we'll see where they spot it when we get back. North Paulding will be on offense and down a point here in the first quarter.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
In lively towns and peaceful rural areas, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are on a mission to provide a different kind of electricity. Our not-for-profit, member-owned EMCs are focused on making life better for members. At private residences, farms, and thriving businesses, we work for you. Generating safe, reliable, affordable electricity, giving back to local programs, serving our members to make life brighter. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. 4:06 to go in the first with an 8-7 game. This has gone past pitcher's duel here. It is a multi-screen experience every single Friday night here on GPB. Our multi-screen experience tonight is at someplace new. It's the Reeve, Phil Reeve Stadium. Lamb Field, and they're already through with one quarter. Cartersville and Calhoun, an early big region matchup, and 3 points on the board to the Jackets right now, 3-0. GPB.org/sports, brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of high school football. Let's send it back upstairs for the remainder of the first quarter, Matt.
Thank you, Nelly. That was the wild triple overtime win for Calhoun that we had on Football Fridays in Georgia a year ago. The punt by O'Brien was just 9 yards, so North Paulding takes over at their own 49-yard line. George in motion behind the line, lines up in the slot. Handoff goes to Calvin Scott, and Scott going to take a big loss way back at the 43. Going to lose 6 yards on that play. That was Stannard who came in there and brought the pressure.
Big time pressure up the middle there by Jake Thorner, pushing that play to the sideline. Stannard cleaning up. Both of these defenses are aggressive. These linebackers are attacking the line of scrimmage, bringing pressure.
Second down and 16. Calvin Scott gets maybe 2 on the play. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. Brought to you by Breda Pest Management, official pest control of high school football.
Sometimes it's simple. Just block Ashton Woods and Wendell Gregory, the 2 outstanding stars on this defense. North Paulding, so far so good. And on the other side for Walton and their defense, stop the run. As you can see, first 2 plays, their run plays. They're trying to stop the run. They're trying to force Tyler Neal to have to make plays out of the pocket down the field.
North Paulding negative 2 yards rushing. There's Wendell Gregory, the South Carolina commit. And look at his career numbers. They finally got him playing in the right spot. Had him in the rover position last year, just wasn't a good fit. Bringing him off the edge has been right down his alley.
Delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You could see right there, Raider defense showing pressure, 3rd and long in this situation. The guys like Gregory and the speed of Woods, you expect Goatway, they're going to be coming after. They're going to be chasing down Tyler Neal. You have to look out for a screen, something real quick, a little draw, try to get some of these yards back.
3rd down. Near, pocket clean, throws downfield, tipped up into the air off the hands of George, and it's going to be 4th down.
Nice job, Tyson McCrary right there breaking on the ball. The senior, 6 feet 170. Tight coverage, good protection, only a 4-man rush. But nice job reading the quarterback eyes. Tyson McCrary just couldn't come down with the interception.
Yeah, it hit off the other number 5's hands. Never hit George's hands. Wisenman on the punt for North Paulding. He's averaged 35.5 yards per punt so far this season. Kick coming down and taking a bounce out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. Going to pin Walton back around their 30-yard line with 2.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
This Walton offense has to stay patient. This North Paulding defense, especially on that back end, there's not letting these receivers get in behind them. They're coming up making tackles. They're going to have to go back to that successful drive they have and just take what the defense gives, maybe have to run the ball with Bodiford and Williams early in this game.
Hetzklinski was a 6th grader when Bruner took over 7 years ago. All of these seniors, 6th graders, so he's watched these young men mature into the senior football class that they are today. Bodiford battling for yards up to the 44-yard line, got 5 on the play.
Good job there by Hetzklinski, able to bring that ball down, high snap, kind of threw off the timing of the blocking up front. But Makari Bodiford able to bring it down. Bodiford, as we've seen, Such a physical runner right there, just running over Marcus Roach, the safety, to pick up that hard 5 yards.
8 carries, 55 yards for Bodiford. Chose Memphis over 7 other offers back on June 18th. Heklinski weaves through the defense, picks up the first down, slides down at the 48-yard line. 9 first downs for Walton here in this first quarter to North Paulding's 1, which came on their touchdown pass.
A nice job there, Heklinski working up the pocket. We would like to see a little more ball security. He's kind of swinging that ball low. We saw him fumble one early doing that, but he's doing a great job of reading that the defense is dropping off, working up the pocket, and picking up that first down.
Bruner says people say that Heklinski's been here forever, but for me, not long enough. Time winding down on this young man's great career. Lobs it up there. It's caught by Teal. Another solid catch by Hunter Teal. 3rd catch of the game for him here in the first quarter.
Coming with the dog there, Ethan Maddox off the edge. Big time pressure here on the rollout. Not able to really get his shoulder square, but enough arm strength to get the ball out to Teal. Great hands is Teal, the Miami, Ohio commit.
Wayne, Heklinski just makes some crazy throws. I mean, that's the only way you can really describe it. Some of them are just mind-boggling. Running a reverse, Lloyd and a flea flicker back to Heklinski. Going downfield for Teal, caught at the 10, touchdown Walton. But there is a flag down on the field. It might be coming back and it might be holding.
Very late flag there, thrown by the white hat. It's like he is signal holding at first. Let's see.
How about that for some razzle-dazzle, though?
What a great play design there. Hunter Teal running down the sideline, wide open for the touchdown, but late flag.
Well, they're going to mark it off. They haven't told us what it is yet.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
So let's see if we can pick it up here. Our producer, Glenn Diamond, says perhaps Loda Ugokwe, 54.
Ugokwe on that back side right there. Don't really see much. The defender did go underneath.
Heklinski back to live action, squeezes it in a tight spot for a great catch by Lloyd. They got nearly all of it back, and they got enough of it for another first down. 19-yard pickup.
Nice job, Lloyd, making up for the easy drop earlier with the tough catch right there. Nice job by that young man. Part of that great senior class that is really focused of trying to get a state championship on the way out.
I mean, Lloyd is a super player. That's his 100th career catch, but he's under-recruited because he's only 5'8", 165.
Research Tyreek Hill. Maybe we need to.
And that's going to be the final play of the quarter. Walton choosing not to run another. And that'll bring us to the end of this first quarter. Tyler Neer had an 83-yard touchdown pass in this quarter, but it's Walton on top as we head to the second.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
All right, what do you think, Jasper?
Honestly, I think that polyester shirt's affecting your game.
What?
I think cotton would have been a better choice.
Cotton?
Yeah, it's come a long way, you know. Nowadays, cotton breathes and makes moisture great. Plus, buying cotton means supporting Georgia farmers. I think that's wonderful.
Okay, sure, but what do you think about the putt?
Oh, guess really hadn't thought about it.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Start of the second quarter at Raider Valley. Walton on top of North Paulding, 8-7. Let's take a look at the team resume for the Walton Raiders, brought to you by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids. 2011, they were the state runners-up. Last couple of years, semifinalists and quarterfinalists. They've won 8 region titles, but they haven't won one since 2017, leading the state at nearly 58 points per game, and this is the 48th season of the program, starting in 1976, and there's their head coach, Daniel Bruner. 23-7 the last 2 seasons, put the 4 wins on top here this year. That's 27-7 last 2 plus. That's Heklinski going deep and a jump ball, and it is going to be incomplete. Bam Bride came down with it, but the ruling was out of bounds.
Great job there defending, staying step for step. Jamari Carter not giving Jordan Bam Bride any room to bring this ball down, running step for step.
Yeah.
And clearly out of bounds there.
He didn't catch it either. The ball hit the ground, but that was a great effort. 6th play of the drive coming up from the 37. Handoff. Swallowed up right in the center of the line. No running room that time for Austin Williams. That was DJ Elkins, the sophomore defensive tackle that they like a lot.
6'1", 290. Coach Stark talked about one of those guys that you need to keep your eyes on for a future star in the middle. Already has the size at 290. Only sophomore that has consistent playing time on this defense that's mostly made up of seniors.
They've got a senior unit, no doubt about it. If they weren't all returning starters from last year, they all had significant playing time last year. Heklinski spins and rolls to his left, throws across his body, and incomplete. Teal wanted a flag and doesn't get it. Carrington Bird on the coverage downfield.
Just great pass rush there by Aiden Maddox coming off that edge. Just never able to get his feet set with Heklinski, and it looks like they're going to stay on the field.
I mean, this
Coach Bruner feels confident in that no man's land area. Too far for a field goal try.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th downs already in this game. This is 4th and 8. Heklinski fires, and Lloyd has the catch. That's a first down and more. Cameron Lloyd comes up big again.
Working up the pocket, feeling the pressure, delivering the ball. Nice route there by Lloyd, getting out the tackle. That's what he's known for. Just get the ball in his hands. Just one of those tough runners once he has the ball in his hand, picking up yards.
And those were his numbers coming into tonight. He's now over 100 catches for his career. Started his career at Hillgrove. It's his 2nd year in the Walton program. Handoff, Austin Williams. And Williams down inside the 10-yard line.
Nice run there between the tackles. Austin Williams is middle of this offensive line, doing a good job here tonight. Kruger, Pruitt, a senior. Kruger, a senior. Patrick Burris also in there.
2nd down from the 9 and 5 to go. Austin Williams gets swallowed up by Aiden Maddox, the defensive end who came around from behind to make the tackle, and now it's going to be 3rd down.
Once again, great job coming off that edge, forcing Austin Williams to have to cut back, but still running him down there. Aiden Maddox, the senior, part of that Maddox and Maddox crew, just twin brothers who are having an outstanding season. Coach Stark talked about both of them being under-recruited, underrated. Great size as well. 6'3", 225 is Aiden Maddox.
3rd down and 4. Line to gain is about the 5. Heklinski fires in the middle and incomplete, broken up on that back line. Big play back there by Kowalski, the linebacker, and it's going to be 4th down.
Good protection. Kowalski never got his head around, but was able to stay step to step with Hunter Teal and not pass interference on that play. Nice job by him from that Will backer position. And looks like the Raiders are going to consistently stay on the field and keep the pressure on the Wolfpack.
4th down and 4. Third time they've attempted a 4th down conversion. Heklinski scrambling, being chased, runs to the sideline and picks up the first down. What great awareness, Wayne, by Heklinski to know where he had to get out of bounds.
You see him going through his progression, didn't feel like it was there, knew where he had to get. You can see him looking over at the yard marker to make sure he got there. Nice gutsy run by him.
1st and goal to go for the Raiders at the 4. Now they go with Cascone in the backfield as a fullback. Austin Williams gets pursued from behind. Great defense.
Danny Pitts coming off the edge, another senior. Number 4 coming into your screen from that outside linebacker position. Headed to Davidson. Former safety, good tackle there as well. Coming with that pressure blitz off the corner.
He's kind of a jack of all trades for them defensively. Can play in the box, can drop back and play in space and coverage. 2nd down. Heklinski fires and broken up again. And it's Pitts. How about that? Danny Pitts, right on cue. I said he can play in the box. He can drop into coverage. He drops into coverage and breaks up the pass attempt for Teal.
Pulling out the safety work here, running step for step, getting that hand in there right at the end and knock it out of Hunter Teal's hand. As you can see, good route. Ball is a little behind, but trying to get it there before Carrington Bird get over there. Nice job of breaking that up by Pitts.
Daniel Pitts having a big couple of plays right here with the ball inside the 5-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Tight down to the 1 if Teal made the catch. Did they rule the catch or not? I think they're going to rule incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. Let's see if they keep the offense out there and forego the field goal attempt. Benai has only 1 field goal, 2 attempts on the season. And it looks like this time they're going to go for the field goal. 16 plays in this drive coming up. This will be the 16th.
Great job by the Wolfpack pass defense right there on that 3rd down. Carrington Bird able to break that play up.
Benai, they get the snap down, and did he get it through? He did not. Benai misses from 22 yards. So a 16-play drive that comes up empty and took more than 4 minutes. North Paulding with the ball when we get back.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
At TELUS Science Museum, the magic of discovery is larger than life. With tons of interactive exhibits and stunning visuals, come experience the magic of TELUS.
Today's conservation-minded consumer cares about where their energy comes from. Your local EMC cares too. Georgia's electric membership cooperatives offer renewable options for our members. In fact, our solar portfolio will produce enough clean energy to power more than 180,000 households, striving to move the needle toward progress and position communities for the future. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. 8:32 for the first half. Still 8-7 as the Wolfpack defense holds. Multi-screen experience. Let's go to the Reeve and give you an update as to what's going on at gpb.org/sports. Cartersville and Calhoun. Long touchdown on the board. About 90 seconds to go first half. Looks like Calhoun might be adding more points on the board. It was 10-0 at the Reeve. Looks like it's 16. Might be 17 if there are no flags. You can watch it at gpb.org/sports all night long. Your multi-screen experience brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of high school football. Matt, back to you.
All right, Nelly, that was a 16-play, 55-yard drive, nearly 6 minutes, and they get nothing out of it as North Paulding back on offense, weighing at the 20.
Talked about the North Paulding defense. Their job tonight is to make Walton have to run plays and not give up the big plays. So far, so good for them.
Near going to hand off to Scott. Calvin Scott trying to get outside, and he gets close to 10 on the play, stepping out of bounds near the 30. Now, during that drive, Sonderman was not on the field. You can see he's got ice on his right hand. You might remember, or maybe don't know, he broke his hand during the summer, and that's why they moved him to safety during the summer, because he couldn't catch passes. Looks like he perhaps has injured that hand again.
You also see the belts for the pads are loose, so.
There was a flag on that play, going to erase that run by Calvin Scott. So that's bad news for the Raiders and for Sonderman. He's a great kid, committed to Jacksonville State as a wide receiver.
We got 2 fouls on the play. We got holding on the offense. That penalty declined. We got holding on the offense, 10 yards from previous spot. Replay, first down.
And with Sonderman being out, you lose 2 positions.
Yeah.
You want your top receiver and maybe your best secondary player as well. So it's a big blow for Walton right now.
So 32 plays run by Walton so far. North Paulding 7. Yet they have a touchdown, an 83-yard pass from Near to George in that first quarter. Near stands in the pocket, delivers downfield, and nearly intercepted at the 30-yard line. Was trying to connect with George and missed his target right there. That was Christian Farrell who could have had the interception.
Just not seeing Farrell come off of his route. Good play action fake, good protection. Just did not see the corner right there. Actually coming off Christian Farrell off of his route, off of his receiver.
So brings up 2nd down and 20 for the Wolfpack.
Lots of shifts and motion in this offense, as you can see. A lot of parts moving around.
Yeah, they're going to shift and motion about 75% or more of their plays. And first carry of the game for Jaden Clayton.
Nice job there by Hudson Beard. Coming up the field, pushing the tight end back, getting off the block, making that play.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 18. Outside of that one big play on the touchdown pass to George, North Paulding has not been able to mount much offense against this Walton defense.
Late action coming into the game, back to shifting and motioning. And get a false start there on that left side of the offensive line.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Good look at Don Stark right there, 18 and 18 in his 4th season as the Wolfpack's head coach. Had great success in the state of Florida, in particular at Seminole High School. He was 40-6 at Seminole over 4 seasons before coming north to the state of Georgia. Meantime, this North Paulding team continues to go in reverse. Near heavy rush, that's going to be a safety. Safety for the Raiders defense as Jake Thorner, the Will linebacker, gets the 2.
We've been talking about both teams and their aggressiveness at the linebacker position. They're not sitting and waiting, coming with pressure on run and pass blitzes here. 17 coming with the power bull rush there over the center. Walker Carpenter pushing him out of the way. Nice job, and you can see Tyler Neer still in the end zone. Tried to work his way out, but he was still in the end zone for that safety.
We told you off the top that the defensive improvement is the biggest story for Walton this season. That is the 6th defensive score for them this season. That's their 2nd safety this season.
Great job of pressuring, and they have that at each and every level. They have those kind of athletes. Ashton Woods and Wendell Gregory, they lead the band, but guys like Thorner and Ugotwe, we haven't called his name out a lot as of yet, but he's one of those dangerous players off the edge.
Jake Thorner's been offered by Georgia Southern and Miami of Ohio. He's kind of been Ashton's little brother, Ashton Woods' little brother the last couple of years, as Woods, who's committed to North Carolina, has kind of taken the junior under his wing. And he's the next guy. After Woods, he's the next big linebacker in this Walton program. Already making a name for himself, having a good season, 30 tackles, and that's his 2nd safety. Both of the Walton safeties have come from him.
6'3", 225, already has the size and shows you that speed and explosiveness that you need as well.
So let's see. It looks like they're going to punt. You have the option on the free kick to punt or tee it up and kick. So Wisenet's going to punt it. See what kind of coverage they can get on this as Lloyd retreats to the 25, has trouble picking it up, and now does it the 21. And Lloyd spins forward to the 29-yard line. Pitts makes the tackle on special teams, and we also have a flag down, a couple of them at the 21.
I think they're going to get Bam Bright there for a crackback block. From my vantage point, looks like he had got his shoulder in front of the defender. Most likely it might have been the force of the, on the crackback. They want you to.
During the return, personal foul, blindside block on the receiving team, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's going to push Walton back. And let's take a look at the team resume for North Paulding. Brought to you by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids. 2 region titles in their program history, including 1 last year. Only 3 playoff wins in program history. Their 4 losses last year came by a combined 12 points as they went 7-4. Their star player, Chris Conley, in the NFL with the San Francisco 49ers. And it's a new program. This is just the 16th year. Program started in 2008. Heklinski retreating to the goal line and letting it fly. And contact downfield. And a flag comes out at the 40-yard line. Bride was running downfield, and Jamari Carter was trying to keep up with him.
Bam Bride getting a step there on Carter. Good protection. Big arm down the field. You can see he has a step in right there, that right hand.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
You can see after he got that step on him, that right hand came.
Pulling that jersey.
And tried to pull that jersey back.
So that'll be a 1st down for Walton now at the 25. 10-7 lead for the Raiders. Matt Stewart, Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, the entire GPB team with you here tonight in Raider Valley. Play action, Heklinski fires and incomplete. Tried to squeeze it into a tight spot there to Lloyd.
Just a quick slant right there, and you could see Cameron Lloyd looking at Hecklinski saying, throw it in front of me. That was a little behind me on that pass. If he had led him a little bit, he could have ran into that ball. He had to step on the defender.
2nd down and 10. Hecklinski pressured. They got to him. Quarterback sack back at the 20-yard line. And that was Mark David who comes up with the quarterback sack.
Mark David over there working on Sam Trainer, able to get that hand and pull him back. And we've seen Jeremy Hecklinski work out of those kind of pressures, but that time right there, the senior David being able to pull him down.
Been offered by Carleton College and Culver Stockton College, a couple of NAIA programs, but that's now 22+ sacks for this North Paulding team on defense this year. 3rd down, heavy rush coming again off the edge. Hecklinski steps up to try to avoid it. Now throws downfield, got a wide open Bride, and Bride all the way up to the 50-yard line and a 1st down. What a play, and a flag out, probably gonna have a personal foul at the end of the play as well.
And get a face mask there on Alex Carlisle. Nice job, as we can see. Jeremy Hecklinski feeling the pressure, working up the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field, still having awareness of where his receivers are, and right there at the end you could see, excuse me, that's Jamari Carter actually with the face mask.
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So add 15 yards to that play, and it gives Walton the ball at the North Paulding 34. But Hecklinski, you described it well, just keeps his eyes up downfield. He's running, eyes looking downfield, waiting for his receiver to come open. Does such a great job of finding him. 1st and 10. Throws it behind his target that time. Austin Williams could have scored a touchdown on that.
Just a out route by Williams, running down the sideline. A little more patience by Hecklinski. Could have been a touchdown here. There's no one running with number 2. If he had just shown a little patience on him so he could get his head around. And this Walton Raider offense has gotten away from the run. And early on, they had a lot of success.
Yeah, they were killing it with Bodiford.
You would imagine they're going to figure out how to get back to that 50-50, make the defense be honest running the ball.
Austin Williams gets it, and Austin Williams gets hugged from behind by number 95, Malik Daly. Daly's a young man who playing varsity football for just the 2nd year. Senior, 6'1", 205.
Walton spreading them out, empty backfield here. Walking Austin Williams out into the slot.
3rd down and 6. Hecklinski sidearm heave over here to Bride. And Bride's going to scramble down to the 28. It's going to be 4th down.
Jordan Bride able to make the first man miss, and if he had just ran upfield, he tried to throw another move. If he had just, after making the first man miss, got upfield, he could have picked up that 1st down. As you can see here, a little screen. He gets out of the tackle there of Maddox, and then he tried to cut back once again. But keeping the offense on the field is Walton.
Raiders are 3 for 3 on 4th downs in this 1st half and going for it again. Broken up at the 21, and a flag comes out. Carrington Bird thought he had good coverage, but they're going to throw a flag on him.
Just running through the back of Hunter Teal right there. Big body is Teal to try to get over for Bird. Just a stop route coming back to the ball. Just a little too early there by number 12.
Pass interference defense, half the distance to the goal, results in a 1st down.
This North Paulding Wolfpack off defense is doing what they came in the game, making them earn. As you can see, Walton, no big plays. They're having to put a drive together. They're pushing them to 4th down.
1st and 10 from the 14. Yeah, they're making them slow walk it down the field, but they're not stopping them either on the big 4th down plays. Right up the middle, Austin Williams. Williams inside the 5 and down to the 2.
Tough run there by the little man, Williams. Coach Brunner talked about how he packs a punch there, reading the blocks. Watch how he finishes this run. Only 160, physical.
Yeah, he was slowed down last year by turf toe. And the quarterback keeper, and that's a touchdown for Jeremy Hecklinski. 2-yard run, and Walton has a 16-7 lead.
Great job there by the center, Hudson Pruitt. Inside, paving the way, staying low, just run right behind number 61. Good job of Hecklinski covering that ball.
Gilstrap, the backup quarterback, is the holder. And Benai pumps it through, 17-7. And we'll step aside as the Walton Raiders have built a 10-point lead.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. It is the second quarter of North Paulding versus Walton. Raiders up 17-7. Coming up in just a few minutes on the Regions Halftime Show, we will have your Make That Kid an Offer segment where we highlight top players around the state that deserve an offer or more college offers. We'll also have the You Save It Georgia Players Spotlight, and this week it's on a freshman who's already making history. We'll hear from the principal, give you score updates, that and much more. Matt, back to you. See you guys in just a few minutes.
All right, looking forward to that, Hannah. Jeremy Hecklinski taking it out. Taking it in from 2 plays. Out 23 plays for 145 in the last 2 drives for the Walton Raiders. Little pooch kick coming down and caught by Pitts at the 35-yard line. Actually, that's Anderson, Ajax Anderson, number 0, who caught it. And that's going to give the Wolfpack the ball. Let's see if they can get anything going. That's the other big storyline is it's been Walton's defense has really slammed the door on North Paulding, a team that's averaging over 33 points per game.
Coach Stark and his offense has to get this run game going. They have very capable backs, and Scott and Clayton, both are finally healthy. We haven't really seen them being featured tonight, and the big part of that is to try to give their defense a rest, who's been on the field almost 50 plays here in this first half.
Yeah, through the first 5 games, the Wolfpack averaging about 190 a game on the ground. Near, gonna fire, and incomplete, trying to get it to Anderson at the 47-yard line.
Kind of falling into what the Raider defense wants them to do, which find themselves in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, so they can let these pass rush go. Offensive line doing a good job so far protecting Tyler Neer.
Only one first down for the Wolfpack, and that came on their 83-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. And a big run right there, and a first down and more for Clayton. Jaden Clayton with their biggest play of the game outside of that touchdown pass.
Big downhill runner is Clayton right there coming off that right side. And as we just said, very capable team of being able to run the ball. Close to 7 yards average as a team. And you could see the physicality he has at the end of that run. It's like he was excited to finally get his hands on the ball.
In limited action, Clayton has averaged 11 yards per carry this season. He's been offered by Kentucky State. Stays in the game and gets the rock again, makes a man miss, and Clayton down to the 39-yard line, and Jaden Clayton giving him a little spark in the run game now.
Great job making Ethan Standard coming off the edge, miss there, bouncing it to the outside, playing with a lot of energy.
Yeah, this is the first game they've had their top two backs, Calvin Scott and Jaden Clayton, healthy. Second down and 5. Ball is at the 39.5 or 38.5. Clayton gonna get it again. They feed him, and Thorner drops him for a loss. Tackle for loss back at the 41.
Nice job, Thorner, playing downhill all night long. 6'3", 225, as you said. The little brother of Ashton Woods, but making a name for him in this game so far, playing on the other side of the line. Like his aggressiveness to the ball.
Daniel Bruner says the only thing with Thorner, they just want to get him to talk more. Communicate.
As a linebacker, want that communication to start coming out.
Clayton to the outside and somersaults ahead to the 35-yard line, flag down at the 39.
And we're going to get the center, Walker Carpenter, trying to block Daniel Calhoun, who's over on defense, the big UGA commit.
Got a man down for Walton as well. I think it might be Bam Bride. It's the cornerback, Bam Bride, who got hurt on that play.
Looks like he's motioning towards his right shoulder.
They're already down Sonderman with an apparent hand injury. And no word as to whether Sonderman will be coming back tonight, but it didn't look like he would be with his pads loosened.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay third down.
And similar to Sonderman, Bride is one of those two-way players that are impactful on both sides of the ball. So when you lose a player like him, it puts a lot of different pieces in rotation.
Bride on offense has 2 catches for 32 yards. Yeah, he tried to go low and maybe took a shot to that elbow or the shoulder, trying to make the low leg tackle on Clayton. Looks like he's kind of favoring that right arm a little bit as he makes his way to the sideline. Well, they got Christian Farrell likely going to sub in for him. There's Sonderman with the ice on his hands. That's the 2 guys in their starting lineup, both starting lineups.
Yeah, half of your receiving core and half of your secondary.
Looks like Dad might be a little bit concerned, and certainly so. Yeah, it looks like got the sign from his son that he's going to be okay. Third down and 16, erasing that run by Clayton down to the 35. And now it's 3rd and 16 from the 50. Neer stands in there, goes deep, and George catches it over the shoulder for a North Paulding touchdown.
Once again, Tyler Neer, only 5'7", 155, but has a cannon, airing this ball down the field to Javarius George. Just misplaying the ball as Christian Farrell thought he had a beat on the ball, ran under the route. Ball carries another 2 or 3 yards on him. Great catch by George over the shoulder for the touchdown.
Wow. 17-13. And the kick by Noble is up and good. And with 1:34 to play in the half, North Paulding is back to within a field goal. Javarius George, 83 and 50-yard touchdown receptions
The leading receiver, Coach Stark talked about. He's a guy you have to get the ball to. Here just loading up was Tyler Neer on that throw. Great job leading the receiver there, and the biggest part of that was just the misplay on the ball by Farrell. He saw the ball coming, kind of ran under it. Good concentration by George for the second big touchdown of the game for the Wolfpack.
The Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive, 5 plays, 64 yards. And North Paulding has not been able to generate a whole lot of offense consistently, but they've hit 2 big plays, and they're right here in the game.
Keeping it tight on defense, making Walton have to walk down the field, and then the big play. We thought Walton would be making those bigger plays, but it's been on the side of North Paulding.
This time they kick it away, and Lloyd's going to take it at the 11-yard line. And Lloyd gets dropped at the 20. How about that? That's the young sophomore, Markel Taylor, coming up with the big stick on special teams.
Nice job of Taylor. Big hit right there. That's that energy from that touchdown right there. The special teams know they have to play big against the kind of talent on the return team from Walton.
Yeah, that was Markel Taylor and Jakelsius Gibson making a sandwich out of Cameron Lloyd. So now Walton back on offense with 1:26 to play in the half, and they take over at the 20-yard line. Heklinski, 9 of 18 for 107 in this game. Nearly intercepted, or nearly caught, I should say, by Lloyd, right in and out of his hands. That would have been a big gainer.
The ball is behind Lloyd, just a tad, but very capable. A lot of room out there to stop and catch this ball. Just got to concentrate. You can see the frustration in his disposition there by Lloyd.
So 2nd down and 10. Clock barely moves. North Paulding does have all 3 timeouts remaining, as does Walton. Heklinski fires, and it's caught by Lloyd, redeems himself, and Moore squirms up to the 43-yard line before Roach gets him on the ground. 22-yard pickup.
Good protection. Once again, work up in the pocket. Little sidearm action there. Big step on Carrington Bird was Cameron Lloyd.
Long throw to the far sideline. And incomplete, trying to go to Bride, who obviously is okay. He's right back in the game. And that was Jamari Carter bringing some lumber at the end of the play. Second down and 10.
Spreading them out, still have 3 timeouts, so plenty of time to move this ball.
They don't have a great long kicking game. And they've already missed a 22-yarder tonight. Pass caught, 47-yard line. That's Bride. They'll move quickly to the line. 13-yard pickup. Another first down.
Going quickly, keeping them spread out. Good job so far by North Paulding, keeping everything in front of them.
Low snap. Heklinski goes back and picks it up and throws incomplete. That was amazing that he was able to pick it up and throw it incomplete for a no gain.
And great job of making sure he was outside of the pocket as well to throw that ball away.
So second down and 10. This is the sixth play of the drive coming up. It started at the 20. They still haven't used any timeouts. I think they'd be happy to bring the ball down, not use any timeouts, and leave no time on the clock and score before going to the locker room. Ball out of there and complete to Bride again as he reaches the 40. Now he's grabbing his ankle and his leg. Timeout called by Walton. Maybe his calf muscle. Hopefully this is just a cramp.
You saw him a little early on this similar play. Little quick screen, trying to get behind the blocking. And you're right, Matt. Looks like he's complaining, maybe a late hit here, but trying to get that screen out there, getting behind the blocking. Right there at the end, looked like maybe he took offense to Danny Pitts getting up on him.
Bride 4 catches for 49 yards tonight. He's a transfer from Alexander, played his first 3 high school seasons out there in Douglas County. And he came into the game with only 6 catches in their first 4 games and already has 4 here in the first half tonight. Of course, he's making up some of the difference with Sonderman being over on the sideline with that injured hand. Looks like he's going to be okay as he's walking without a limp to the sideline. So third down and 6 coming up. 41 seconds to play here in the first half. And Walton on top by a field goal in this battle of unbeatens.
North Paulding, do you have one more stance in you in this first half? We've seen them make this Walton offense have to walk the ball down. The clock has already started.
Now Walton called a timeout, so that's what they're arguing. They called a timeout. And so the clock should not have started until the ball was snapped. The PA announced it as an injury timeout, but Walton clearly called for a timeout, I thought.
And that's what Coach Bruner is discussing, that he was emphatic that he called a timeout. Regardless of what was called on the field, he called a timeout. Now, they do still have 3 timeouts on the scoreboard for the Raiders, but
so they're going to give them the timeout, it looks like, and put the clock back at 41 seconds. And so Walton will have 2 timeouts remaining. Complete at the, no, incomplete. Kind of went out of our vision trying to get the ball to Lloyd over here on the near sideline. And it's going to be 4th down.
Just an out route. Ball hit him right in the chest, just dropping the ball once again. Cameron Lloyd. Several drops tonight. Very catchable ball right there.
Raiders going for it again on 4th down here in the first half. 4th time they've gone for it. Heklinski throwing on the run and in and out of the hands of Teal at the 25, and the ball will go over on downs.
Tip your hat to North Paulding in this defense. They know that Walton is going to make plays. They know they're going to get the ball out. The thing they came in is to scratch and claw and make them earn it, keep things in front of them. A drive that started with a big play, big penalty. They were able to hold off this offense. And right now, if they can take this score in 17-14, they're in a great position in the second half.
Well, they'll get the kickoff to start the third quarter, but I wouldn't count them out just yet. I just have Neer throw it as far as he could and see if George can run under it. It's a formula that has worked twice for them already in this first half. Near, complete. That's George with a more conventional short catch. Picks up about 5 on the play.
3 timeouts of their own. Very capable, as you said, Matt, to make a big play with a timeout. At least put yourself in a position that you can throw into the end zone here before the end of the half as well.
Noble's good from about 25-yard line and in, so about a 42-yard kick is the extent of the range for Aiden Noble. Ball goes outside as Calvin Scott cut inside. 3rd down. Ball at the 48, line to gain is the other 47. Heavy rush coming up there. They get it out to Anderson. Ajax Anderson down to the 38-yard line. And a first down for North Paulding. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining. Let's see if they burn one here.
Just a little tight end screen. Get the ball out to Ajax Anderson for the big gain.
Not yet. Near goes to the far side, and that's Inogene. First time the ball has gone his way. Could not come up with it.
Tyler Near giving himself a chance. We've seen the big arm that he has, so he's definitely in range where he could throw the ball in the end zone from this position. So you got to keep your eye. Javarius George, if you're in the secondary, where is he? Locate him.
Caught at the 28. Inogene going to step out of bounds with 2 or 1 on the clock. There is a flag out, however, so we'll have to check the penalty call to see if the catch and run's going to stand. If it stands, they're in field goal range for Noble.
Looks like they're going to walk the ball back. Not sure what.
NLG receiver downfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
So now just 1 second on the clock, and they're out of field goal range. They'll just have to heave the ball to the end zone. And a timeout called by Walton.
Coach Bruno wants to make sure his defense understands first and foremost on these kind of plays in the back end, knock the ball down. Do not try to intercept the ball. Don't make a play on it. Don't get greedy. Just knock the ball down. How many times have we seen someone try to intercept it? It goes to their hands or it tips off and it floats into an offensive player's hand.
Really kind of surprised. North Paulding had 3 timeouts and they didn't use any of them. Thought that they kind of could have worked the clock a little bit better than they did on this possession. They don't do you any good in the locker room.
No,
so.
you can't use them in the second half.
That's right.
They don't add up. So.
And I thought that they took over about 40+ seconds. I think it was somewhere in that range. 31 seconds. They took over. If they'd use those timeouts a little better, might be in a situation here where they could maybe cut the distance in half and then still have a shot at the field goal. So 1 second left in the half. And Walton not playing quite as deep here now coming out of the timeout. But they've got 4 guys playing at least 30 yards off the line of scrimmage. Near going to throw for the end zone, and it's intercepted at the 2-yard line by McCrary. Tyson McCrary all the way back to the 48. 46-yard return by McCrary on the final play of the half. And Walton with a 17-14 lead on the Wolfpack as they head to the locker room. Hold on a second. Do we have a flag? If it's on the defense,
After the interception, holding on the defense, that penalty is declined. It's halftime.
So an exciting half. Walton has really kind of been the team that's walked it down the field. It's North Paulding on the strength of 2 big plays, touchdown passes near to George. And we have a 3-point game. Tonight's coach's interview is brought to you by Johnny's New York Style Pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria.
Thank you very much, Matt. Now here with the coach. They're making you earn your miles in the first half getting down the field.
No doubt, they're playing really good football, and we're really not playing our brand of football, so we've got to get that cleaned up in the second half.
And I know at the same time you're also going to talk about penalties, missed opportunities, all those kinds of things. Did I miss any of the points that you're going to talk to them over down on the practice field?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get some guys to step up. We've had our trainers working overtime in this first half. We got guys beat up and got a lot of guys that are in the game right now that haven't been starters. They're going to have to step up the second half and make some plays.
I was going to ask about Wyatt and Bam. Any early word?
We're still going to decide at halftime what they're going to do in the second half.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks so much.
That is Daniel Bruner, the head coach of Walton. Halftime interview brought to us by our friends at Johnny's Pizza. And that's the first half. Johnny's New York Style Pizzeria, your original neighborhood pizzeria. That's the first 24 minutes. When we come back, it is the halftime show presented by our friends at Regions Bank. Hannah Gooden takes the tour of the state and lets you know what else is going on. Stick and stay here on the great GPB.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
As morning light signals the start of business, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are right there with you. Georgia's EMCs are a partner in economic development, serving commercial accounts big and small that drive Georgia's economy. From leading industries we rely on to local shops we treasure. We support operations on the ground, care around the clock, and growth through the seasons, lighting up good business. So business is good. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia. Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Statistics show that men lead less healthy lifestyles than women, which can have a serious impact on their quality of life. Scott Kennedy, Vice President of Sales for Cigna Healthcare, is here with tips for men of all ages to improve and protect their health. Scott, why is it so important for men and boys to educate themselves on their health?
Well, Hannah, statistics show that men don't go to the doctor as frequently as women. Women go 33% more often to the doctor than men do, and they just don't take care of themselves, particularly with preventive care. And the result of that is in the United States, men die on average 5 years earlier than women.
Oh, wow. Well, what are some of these warning signs that men could look out for in protecting their health so they don't have to die early?
Well, I mean, think about the basics, chest pains, high blood pressure, and then taking stock of your choices and understanding the impact of that. And whether you're drinking or smoking or, being hard on your body, chronic stress, those are other things that you need to take under control.
So besides getting men to the doctor, what are some things they can do to improve their overall health and prevent disease?
Are you living healthily? Are you eating well? Are you getting exercise? Are you using tobacco or too much alcohol? Are you managing your stress? And then are you doing routine self-checkups? Because those can be indicators of early warning signs.
And thank you for being here and sharing this information. If you would like to learn more about men's health and how you can improve it, please visit Cigna.com. Welcome to the Football Friday in Georgia halftime show presented by Regions. I'm Hannah Gooden. Get back in the game with Regions Bank. We are live from Raider Valley for North Paulding versus Walton. Raiders up 17-14. Walton has 8 players heading to D1 colleges next season. They've been on display tonight, including Daniel Calhoun, the offensive lineman, headed to UGA. But what about players that are overlooked when it comes to recruiting? Maybe undersized or just not getting the looks they need. Here are this week's nominees for Make That Kid an Offer. This week, we start with Stockbridge senior defensive lineman Cameron Reese. The 3-year starter ended his junior season with 19 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, and made the All-State team for his region. He's also been awarded the Defensive Lineman of the Year for the Tigers the last 2 seasons. He currently has an offer to Western Kentucky, but he hopes to get more. Next up is Howard offensive tackle Javon Dunn. The 6'4", 360-pound senior is a leader on the Huskies' efficient and dynamic offense. So someone make him an offer. And one more Howard player to highlight is senior linebacker and running back Ethan Ellington. He shines on both sides of the ball. On offense, he's explosive in the red zone with 7 carries for 28 yards and 2 touchdowns. On defense, he's notched almost a career total of 140 tackles and 5.5 sacks. We talked to Coach Bruner before the game, and he nominates slot wide receiver Cameron Lloyd, running back Austin Williams, and wide receiver Wyatt Sonderman. He has 1 offer to Jacksonville State, but all of them deserve more. Time to get you up to date with what's happening around the state on Georgia's EMC scoreboard. Georgia's EMCs, it's so much more than electricity. So here's our top games around the state at Bearville Stadium in Blackshear, Appling County, up over Pierce County right now, 14-6. Another big matchup at Freedom Field in Warner Robins is Lee County versus Houston County. No surprise that one is tied 14-14 in the second. Grayson up over Newton 14-10 in the second. And then you have North Oconee beating North Hall right now 24-0 at the half. Next page for you, Roswell leading by 1 point over Blessed Trinity, 14-13. Burke County leading Wayne County 14-3 in the second. Raven County up by a score over Fellowship Christian. That one's 21-14 at the half. And our web game, Calhoun leading Cartersville 17-0 at the half. That one is at Phil Reeves Stadium. You can watch it on gbb.org/sports or the GBB Sports app. Also, when it comes to Make That Kid an Offer, if you want your name on the segment, go to gbb.org/sports and find us on social media and get your name in. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but coming up next, we have our You Save It Pharmacy Georgia Player Spotlight. You're not going to want to miss it.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
Hi, I'm Josh Turner, Director of the Georgia Drivers Education Commission. Teen drivers who have been issued an instructional or learner's permit for at least 1 year and have no major violations resulting in a suspension are eligible for a Class D license once they have completed the Joshua's Law requirements. Joshua's Law requires that 16 and 17-year-olds complete an approved driver education course with a certified private or public driver training school using one of these methods. Approved classes are also offered online. Visit dds.georgia.gov/teendrivers for more information. The state also offers a limited number of driver's education scholarships through the Georgia Driver's Education Grant Scholarship Program. For eligibility requirements and to apply, visit gahighwaysafety.org and click Georgia Driver's Education Commission. Studies have shown that driver training reduces crashes, injuries, and fatalities on the road.
Another night, prowling the city. In the shadow of the streets is where I belong.
Yeah, the deal went through. We're gonna make a killing.
During the day, I'm tortured by the thought of citizens not wearing their seat belts. It's why I don the belt and the mask.
Oh yeah, we're gonna celebrate tonight.
Too often, people forget what it means to drive safely. But that's why I exist, to remind them.
Sounds good. I'll see you guys there.
Because safety is my burden to bear.
What the?
As the seatbelt.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. Walton leading North Paulding 17-14 at the half. It's time for our Georgia Player Spotlight, brought to you by You Save It Pharmacy. This week we are highlighting Cedar Shoals freshman swimmer Christopher Koch. He's already won a state title in the 1,000-yard and 500-yard freestyle events, as well as the 400 IM. Here's his story.
The slightest moment of hesitation of getting off the block can lose or give you 100th of a second. It's like super fast.
Great athletes don't just go up and down and get tired. They're thinking all the time and they're trying to do the little things right. His best swimming's definitely ahead of him. He is improving every day.
He's really making a name for himself and a lot more to come. We've got our eyes on you, Christopher Koch. Congratulations on all your success. All right, we have to take one more quick break, but coming up next, we will have the Walton principal as well as check in with John. You know you like to hear from John what's happening around the rest of the state. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Flint Energies and 33 other participating Georgia Electric membership cooperatives congratulate Perry High School on winning the GHSA Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. This award honors schools that exhibit exemplary sportsmanship during competitive events. Only one school in each region and each classification is chosen to receive this annual award. The GHSA takes into consideration all aspects of sportsmanship, making the award a tribute to the entire community.
Flint Energies recognizes the importance to invest in schools within our service territory that are shaping our future leaders. The students are dedicated to demonstrating great sportsmanship and other qualities at school and throughout the community. As a class of 1998 Panther alumni, and on the behalf of Flint Energies, I am honored to present the Georgia High School Association Cooperative Spirit Award to Perry High School.
Introduced in 2006, this award reinforces the GHSA's philosophy that everyone associated with high school activities, from athletes to spectators, should adhere to the fundamental values it represents.
We work together to make sure we communicate to all of our coaches and then to our fan base in the community that they understand when they're on our campus what we expect and how to demonstrate character. And we exemplify that by our walk, our daily walk as administrators.
Georgia's EMCs and the 34 participating Georgia Electric membership cooperatives are proud to sponsor the Cooperative Spirit Sportsmanship Award. Congratulations to the Perry Panther community.
Welcome back. I am here with Walton principal Richard Tischler. I see the score. We all see the score, 17-14. You said the Raider boys are not here. So you had to do the push-ups that the Raider boys would normally do. So did you do all 17?
No, I did not do all 17. So we were in fall break, and so our Raider boys are not here, but the first 8 I did. And then I made my assistant principal do the 17. But I promise if we score again, I'm going to do jumping jacks.
So no more push-ups for you.
No more push-ups. I've reached my age limit.
Okay, you were a little winded when you came over, so we're making sure that your health is all right here. So let's talk about the first half of the game. Your son is on the team. He's a freshman. You said he didn't dress out, but what is it like to be a proud dad and watch the team, and what's your thoughts on the Raiders this year?
Well, obviously, I think the world of Coach Bruner, and since he was at all the practices over fall break, he let him dress out. And so he's a part of the football team tonight. And as a parent, a principal, I just couldn't be more proud of him and of Coach and just the program.
Well, time to brag on the rest of your school. What else is going on athletically, academically? Give us all the scoop about Walton.
Well, luckily, they just released the SAT numbers, and we ranked 3rd in the state. 1255 was our average. Really proud of our students. We also had 22 National Merit semifinalists. We just had a violinist who did her solo debut at Carnegie Hall. And both of our volleyball and softball teams are ready to head to the playoffs, having strong seasons.
So awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. T, right? I can call you that?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to bring in John to give us an update on the rest of the state. Come on, John. Where's John? Where's John?
Good to see you.
His family is here, too, so shout out.
Right over there.
Shout out to the family.
Yes.
All right, John, give us an update on what's going on around the state.
Well, the web game's now 17-7.
Nice.
Score on the board for Cartersville. And this is fun because it's the first time we've had the chance to get to the Reeve, brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of high school football. Just scored Cartersville. So late third quarter at the Reeve, and that's a great environment. Region play kicking off for a lot of folks tonight, and a lot of games have instant impact. You've got Appling and Pierce down on the coast. That's one. Benedictine and New Hampstead is another one that's going to set a tone also early on for Benedictine as they get ready for region play. So the game that you saw there, gpb.org/sports, multi-screen experience is what we like to talk about all season long, and brought to us by our friends at Breda Pest Management. You're going to have that game on maybe your phone or
Let's
on a
talk about the game we're in right now. How impressed are we with the Wolfpack defense?
There's a game here.
How impressed are we with the Wolfpack defense,
Very.
John? Very.
Well, I mean, that was why I wanted to ask Coach Bruner the first question that I did, because they're making Walton take their time, and that is not how things work with an offense that's averaging in the high 50s all season long. We're going to catch up with Coach Stark in just a little bit, find out what he's telling the guys, and I think it's probably going to be, okay, just do more of the same for the next 24 minutes. Chunk plays are big, and I know that's probably also something that they were talking about, especially on the Walton side of things on defense. 2 big chunk plays created the 2 scores with the Wolfpack here, and they're only down 3, so they're right there in it.
Quick shout out to Jeremy Hecklinski's mom.
Yes.
She came over and talked to us.
She did.
He will be going to Wake next year.
Yes.
She said the Wake coaches are here watching. What have you been thinking about the his play and quarterback offense?
I mean, so far you see the imagination of Jeremy Hecklinski. He's probably going to need to use more of that in the second half to get this win home.
Thank you, John.
I guess
they are telling us to run.
I've got to go.
I'm
going to go get a coach. So basically, Hannah's kicking me out. Bye.
Go, John. Thanks, John. Okay, we've got a lot more coming up, and we have a lot more for you to do at home. Go follow us on social media at GPB Sports for all of the high school football news. Okay, that's it for the halftime show, guys. A lot more to come with Matt, Wayne, and John right after this.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Cigna Healthcare. Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
Every game day celebration, every championship title begins here with hours of unseen work. As part of our commitment to education, Georgia's EMCs support the young athletes who play high school sports in the communities we serve, empowering talent with scholarships, honoring sportsmanship, saluting the game changers. When we champion the energy behind the scenes, they can step into their future and shine. Georgia's EMCs, official energy provider of the GHSA.
Halftime here at Raider Valley in a 17-14 lead for the fifth-ranked Walton Raiders over North Paulding. And time now for our coach's interview. It's brought to you by Johnny's New York-style pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria, and send it right down to John Nelson.
All right, let's get a slice of what happened on the North Paulding side here in the first 24 minutes. First thing I mentioned to you was chunk plays. You got an 80-yarder and a 50-yarder for the two scores on the board. You're making that secondary think.
Yeah, you know, Tyler's hit Jav on a couple of big plays. We just have to be more consistent, not shoot ourselves in the foot with, you know, formation penalties and holding calls. And I think we have to do that. We can move the ball.
And at the same time, I know that defensively going up against their offense, you're having them slow walk it, go against type, force them to get frustrated and get them into third and long and fourth down situations, and they're having to convert those.
Yeah, you know, if we can continue to put pressure on the quarterback, I think we'll have a shot at making plays. He's made a couple plays, you know, on third and fourth down, and you know, we just got to stick to our guys, plaster them, and I think we'll be all right.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys.
That's your look at the North Paulding side of things from our friends at Johnny's New York-style pizzeria, your original neighborhood pizzeria. Matt, back up to you to start the second half.
All right, Nelly, let's take a look at the first half highlights. Wayne started with a couple of turnovers. North Paulding got one, and then Walton got it right back on the interception by Standard.
Nice job by Standard setting up this touchdown. Austin Williams out on the corner to put 6 on the board.
Walton takes a 8-0 lead because they run a 2-point conversion and a nifty play there by Hecklinski to Botiford.
And then Tyler Neer with the big arm hitting Javarius George with an 83-yard touchdown, one of the big first half touchdowns for North Paulding.
8-7 after one quarter. The Walton defense got fired up here. Jake Thorner picks up his second quarterback sack and safety of the season.
Jeremy Hecklinski for the quarterback sneak for the 2-yard touchdown.
That capped a 90-yard drive, 8 plays, and then Neer again finds George, who runs right by the receiver for or defensive back for a 50-yard touchdown catch. What jumps out at you?
The penalties for North Paulding, 10 penalties for 84 yards. Just can't have that and try to win this game. And then the first down, Walton has had to walk the ball down the field. That sticks out as well. That's what North Paulding wanted them to do. The 3 turnovers, one of them didn't happen. It happened at the end of the game, trying to get it in at the end. But which of these teams can establish a run game in this second half, I think is going to be key.
How about the stat line for Tyler Neer? 4 for 12 passing for 153, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a rather unusual line. Third quarter kickoff is brought to you by Buckle Up Georgia. Buckle Up Georgia. Seatbelts save lives as we start the second half here at Raider Valley. Onside kick, and the ball is loose. And a flag. Did we have illegal touching? We have offsides on Walton.
Encroachment, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
So that'll back him up to the 35-yard line. You see Daniel Bruner not too happy with the call.
Spent all that time in the halftime getting everybody geeked up that we're going to try this to start the second half. We'll frustrate a coach.
And then you don't execute.
Then you don't execute it. So, and that's kind of how it's been for this Walton team in this first half. Even though they're up 17-14, offensively, a lot of lack of execution.
You know, one of the things Daniel Bruner told us this week is, that he had to try to get this team remotivated, rejuvenated. It's been 2 weeks since their last game. And their victory over Marietta, 52-8. Gonna skyball it. Comes down, that ball's loose and covered at the 32-yard line. So North Paulding avoids disaster right there as Dubé Inogene gets on top of that loose ball. And the 32-yard line, 33-yard line is where they're going to put it down. That's where North Paulding starts on offense to begin this third quarter.
The two big plays for North Paulding, 83 and 50 to George. Outside of those plays, only 37 yards total offense. But they did have a little spark there with Jaden Clayton running the ball. Something that you think they will try in this second half to take pressure off of Tyler Neal.
Well, Calvin Scott starts the second half as the running back. Neer goes to the far side and right through the hands of Austin Nagy. Nagy, a young man who's been a quarterback in the North Paulding program his entire career until this year when they asked him to move to wide receiver to make room for Neer.
Second and long, third and long. That's something that this offense has tried to fight out, and that has been kind of the Achilles heel. Not able to execute on that first down pass has put them behind the sticks.
And it's Anderson in motion behind the line. And Calvin Scott gets the handoff, not going anywhere.
Nice job, Noah Lavelle, number 34 right there. Young sophomore stepping in there, making plays. Part of that, as you heard Coach Bruner in the second, at the end of that half, talk about guys having to step up because of injuries.
Noah LaValle, the sophomore linebacker, with his 11th tackle of the season. None of their defensive players, their leading tackler in the first half was Ashton Woods with 2.5 tackles. That's in large part because North Paulding didn't run a whole lot of plays offensively. Neer going up top and intercepted at the 37-yard line by Bam Bride. That'll be the third pickoff for the Walton defense tonight.
Just a miscommunication here between Neer and his receiver out on the edge. Seems like Inogen was running a comeback. Neer was throwing a go route. Nice find there by Jordan Bride, Bam Bride. Good to see him back in there making plays.
So 3 pickoffs for the Walton defense tonight. And that was one of the big points of emphasis for Walton defensively this year, was they wanted to get disruptions, at least 15 disruptions on the defensive side of the ball per game. Let's see what Walton does here now as they go back on offense. Hecklinski going to wind up and throw it deep, looking for Lloyd, right through his hands, and a flag out. Looks like Danny Pitts might have pulled his arm down as the ball was arriving.
Danny Pitts, not your typical linebacker, able to run step for step with Lloyd that deep down the field. Lloyd getting a step on him.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Airing it out, going over the top, just right here at the end. You can see getting there on that left shoulder. Danny Pitts trying to get back into play. Pass interference on Cameron Lloyd there.
11 penalties on North Paulding tonight, over 100 yards. Austin Williams, nowhere to go. Kowalski coming in there and making that tackle, number 16.
Nice job of Kowalski playing upfield, not letting that play with Williams' speed bounce to the outside.
See the season 31 tackles coming in for Austin Kowalski. He's right at 100 career tackles. Hecklinski fires. That's Lloyd with the catch. Gets dropped at the 45-yard line by Matthias Johnson. They call him Mai Tai.
And Adam, I'm starting to feel like maybe something happened to Makari Bodiford. We haven't seen him since that first quarter where he was having a great first quarter running the ball, but not sure, haven't really seen him. It's been Austin Williams here for about a quarter and a half.
3rd down and 7. Blitz is coming right up the middle. They pick it up. Hecklinski gets it out of there, trying to go to Lloyd. And a flag down at the 47-yard line, the line of scrimmage on the incompletion. It's going to be 4th down pending the penalty. Yeah, Bodiford on the sideline. No indication that he's injured, but 8 carries, 52 yards for Bodiford. He had 4 carries for 50 yards on the opening drive.
We got blocking below the waist on the offense. That penalty's declined, playing 4th down.
All right, 4th down. Let's see if Walton goes for it again tonight. You see Bill Letton, the legendary and longtime offensive line coach there, standing by Daniel Bruner, and this time they're going to punt it away. Tanner O'Brien's punted only once in this game, and that was a 9-yard punt in the first half. But he's been a good punter, number 2 in the region, right at 32 yards per punt.
Daniel Calhoun, the big left tackle in the up position at the 50-yard line. You usually don't put your left tackle as an up blocker.
Much better punt by O'Brien this time. Again, it goes out of bounds. Let's see where they spot it. They're going to give him a much better spot and spot it out at the 21. 21-yard line is where North Paulding will have it when we get back here in the 3rd quarter.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by DBHDD. Win by learning about safe usage of prescription opioids.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an oxy or perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Only in Cartersville, Bartow. 3 Smithsonian-affiliated museums, Barnsley Resort, and an authentic downtown full of unique restaurants and shops. The perfect destination for a memorable staycation, only in Cartersville, Bartow.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. 9:50 to go, 3rd quarter. Matt and Wayne kind of keeping an eye on Makari Bodiford. He's still active and just kind of encouraging teammates, but on that last drive, he was not carrying his helmet. Walking up and down the sidelines, a bit of a crash in his stride a little bit toward the right leg, kind of favoring its right arm a little bit. Just little niggles, you know, if you want to call it that. We'll keep an eye on it, but his helmet is nowhere near his hands, and he is nowhere near coming back in the game, guys.
Yeah, he had a big first quarter, big opening drive, and North Paulding was having a hard time getting him on the ground. That's a big loss. They've already lost Sonderman tonight. He's got the ice pack on his right hand. 1st and 10. Ball goes to Clayton. He gets swallowed up by Laval again.
Laval, Ashton Woods coming up the middle. These linebackers have been very aggressive coming across the line. They're attacking the line of scrimmage right there. They came in this game to stop the run and force this team to have to play in 2nd and 3rd and long, and they have been doing that consistently tonight.
Yeah, it looks like LaValle is playing in Thorner's spot right now. Woods is still out there. You see Woods, who's committed to North Carolina, the 4-star linebacker. And LaValle has made a couple of tackles here in this third quarter. Looks like Thorner's not out there right now. I don't know whether he's injured or not. You heard Bruner in his interview with John Nelson going to the locker room referred to, the injuries that they had endured in the first half.
They've moved Tyson McCrary over to Sunderman, spotted that free safety, going with Bride and Farrell at the corners. So a lot of shuffling around on this defense. It's been playing outstanding tonight, other than those two big plays.
3rd down and 10. Clayton goes in motion to the outside. Now comes back across. Neer stands in the pocket. Intercepted again. Farrell all the way down close to the 20, and the 4th pickoff for the Walton defense tonight.
Nice job there of Christian Farrell stepping in, reading the quarterback's eyes. Near trying to get the ball to Morris Martinez down the field, keeping everything in front of him. Nice jump in front of that ball right there by Christian Farrell.
So Walton gets a short field. And then finally, you got to figure these turnovers that just keep mounting up. 4 interceptions now by that secondary for Walton. Eventually is going to lead to points being scored. Hecklinski, touchdown Walton. 21 yards to Hunter Teal.
Great job by Jeremy Hecklinski, feeling the blitz coming off the edge by Danny Pitts. He knows that he has Hunter Teal in a one-on-one matchup. Watch how he pulls this ball last minute, feeling the pressure. Just running a seam route there is Jeremy Hecklinski, keeping it wide, getting behind Ethan Maddox for the touchdown.
23-14. That's the first touchdown pass of the night for Jeremy Hecklinski, who also scored one on the ground. And Benai, and I think he might have missed it. He did. So Benai misses the PAT, and it's 23-14 Walton. And they cash in right away after the interception by Farrell.
Nice job of execution and great vision there by the quarterback. Being on the same page with Hunter Teal, two guys that have been here together forever, but just reading that blitz by Pitts, knowing that he had that one-on-one matchup with Teal. Teal able to, after the play-action fake here, as you can see, get behind Ethan Maddox for the touchdown.
And you just got to wonder how long North Paulding can survive as they keep turning the ball over. That's 2 interceptions for Near in this third quarter.
Interceptions, penalties, and the other Achilles heel has been not having success on first down. I think that has been making it very hard for them to move the ball.
Ball comes down at the 25. 8-yard return up to the 33 by Calvin Scott. That's where North Paulding goes on offense. Got to protect the football first and foremost. And North Paulding has not done a good job of that here tonight. It's really been a feast or famine kind of night for Tyler Neer, who has the 83 and 50-yard touchdown passes, but he's offset that with 4 interceptions.
And the score is still close enough to start us trying to establish the run game. Calvin Scott, Jaden Clayton, 2 tough running backs that they have. You still are within that range where you can run the ball and try to put drives together instead of just going for the big play.
Downfield overthrows Anderson. Anderson is looking for a hole in the defense there around the 47.
Once again, not having success on first down. Now you're in 2nd and 10. And this defense, especially on the back end, it's been very good. These 2nd and 3rd and longs.
Second down 10, ball at the 33. Handoff goes to Clayton. And LaValle makes another tackle.
Nice job of LaValle stepping in, picking up where Jake Thorner left off. It hasn't been a drop-off with him replacing him. Young sophomore, still attacking, getting downhill, not letting these backs even get back to, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you heard Bruner tell Nelly that they're going to have to go with some of their backups here. And LaValle, who's a really good one, a number 2 linebacker, has had 3 tackles here in this 3rd quarter alone. 3rd down and 7. Blitz is coming. Near got hit as he delivered the ball downfield and misses Anderson, and it's going to be 4th down.
All out blitz, man-to-man out on the edges. Ashton Woods with the pressure here. He is coming, and there's no one there to try to block him. Tyler Neer trying to get the ball off as he did. Just had to throw it early to avoid getting sacked.
Bride standing deep for Walton back at the 32. Wisenant on to punt, standing at his 23. Number 7 in 7A with a 35.5-yard punting average so far this season. Bride calls fair catch, and in traffic makes it at the 37. And that's where Walton's going to go back on offense. That was a 26-yard kick, and now right over 7 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
With the absence of Makari Bodiford, we've seen maybe that's with the uptick of this offense throwing the ball. Coach Bruner tries to stay balanced, but for almost a quarter and a half now, it's just been throwing the ball down the field. Austin Williams still capable back. Maybe Christian Farrell putting him in the backfield as well.
See Walton 27-7 last 2+ seasons. Got to the state semifinals in 2021, state quarterfinals 2022, and off to a 4-0 start here in 2023. But Coach Daniel Bruner says you definitely feel there's a difference in the program. We're in a different place than we were the last couple of seasons. He says being able to go on the road in the playoffs and win at Colquitt County, win at Buford as they did last year. He says there's no faking that. He just really feels like they're a more complete team than they've been. And maybe this is the season for Walton. 2nd down and 8. Time for Hecklinski. Backpedaling, surveying the field, and stepping out of bounds around the 35-36. Lost yardage on the play.
Nice job of not trying to make a mistake and force them down the field. This is one of those situations, great coverage on the back end. Couldn't get the ball out to Austin Williams. You could see he was hoping he could find him leaking down the sideline, doing the smart thing, pulling the ball, getting out of bounds.
So 3rd down and long. They lost 8 on that play. We'll see if North Paulding can get their defense off the field here. Setting up a screen, dumps it off, and great coverage on defense by Ethan Maddox, the linebacker. Maddox had 9 tackles in the first half. Double-digit tackle night for him.
Not fooled at all is Ethan Maddox. He sniffed that out from the beginning. You could just tell he was already outside shoulder on that screen. Quick screen outside to Williams. The kind of play that you would expect a veteran like him to understand in that 3rd and 15. That's usually a screen or draw. Great read by him.
He's got great size for a linebacker. 6'4", 225. George calls fair catch, makes it at the 35, and we'll step aside with just under 6 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if North Paulding can get something going on offense.
These are the pale bets.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Regions Bank. Get back in the game with Regions Bank.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
While we've got a quick break in the action, did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
I've been checking food labels for years. I like to buy local, and I like to buy healthy for my family. So I started checking the labels on our clothes, too. Did you know synthetic fibers like polyester are pretty much made of oil? No thanks. I look for cotton now, which grows right here in Georgia, a major source of the world's cotton. Cotton is natural, renewable, sustainable, and buying cotton supports Georgia farmers. Good enough for me and my family.
Welcome back to Raider Valley. 5:36 for the third. Walton up 9, 23-14. Multi-screen experience takes us to the Reeve tonight, and the lead that Calhoun had has officially shrunk. Scoring on a crash from 1 yard out, it is now 17-14. Calhoun goes 3 and out, and you see where the punt landed, basically the 2-yard line, and that's where Cartersville's having to take over on this next drive to try to get out from the shadow of their own goalpost. Brought to us by our friends all season long at Breda Pest Management. Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of high school football. Back to the rest of the third and Matt.
Thanks, Nelly. North Paulding going back on offense at their own 35 and down 9 here at Raider Valley. Fourth all-time meeting. Walton's won the previous 3. Clayton gets the run. Clayton gets a couple of yards.
And as I said earlier in this half, still in that score range where you can run the ball, try to put a drive on. It doesn't just have to be the big play down the field. Try to create and stay out of those second and third and longs and give Tyler Neer a chance.
Neer is 4 for 17 passing, 153. 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Weird stat line for sure. Going up top again, and it's going to be caught at the 36. Marcus Taylor comes down with it, just his 3rd catch of the season. It goes for 24 yards.
Nice job of Taylor getting Ethan Standard turned around, really lost sight of where the ball is. Never was able to turn around and realize that on the little rollout, Neer was coming that way. Nice job of going down to the turf and picking up that ball.
1st and 10, ball at the 39 for the Wolfpack. Score gets them right back in the game. Neer hit as he's throwing. He gets leveled. The pressure coming from behind.
Wendell Gregory finally getting some room to operate. We haven't said his name all night because the game plan was to make sure he was blocked. North Paulding had been doing that with chips with the tight end, kind of bracketing him so he couldn't just get a free run. Finally coming off the edge with the big hit there on Tyler Neer.
He's rated as high as the number 6 edge rusher in the country by ESPN. Consensus 4-star, committed to South Carolina. 2nd down. Handoff goes to Calvin Scott, trying to bounce it outside. And Scott gets chased down by Ashton Woods at the 36.
Nice job of Woods, showing you that ability to play from sideline to sideline. 6'4", 220. Big linebacker. His coach called him a film junkie. All he wants to do is sit around and watch football. And it shows in his ability to play and read and react.
Comes from a football family. He'll be the 5th member of his family to go off and play college football. His brother Dom Blaylock is now at Georgia Tech, 3rd down and 7. Play action and incomplete. Heavy pressure, and the flag is dropped at the 41, so check that penalty call.
And we're going to get a late foul, late hit, personal foul here on Hudson Beard.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, 15-yard penalty, results in the first down.
Well, that's huge because that gives North Paulding a first down when it appeared that they were out of luck on this drive.
Right here at the end, just coming in and definitely had time to pull off of that hit right there. Not needed.
That's just an obvious call right there. So 1st and 10 for North Paulding at the Walton 21. Wolfpack 5-0, Walton Raiders 4-0. Last time and only time they played here before, back in 2020, a 21-14 win for Walton. Near to the far side, incomplete. Looking for Inagene. It's been quiet tonight. Haven't been able to connect with their junior wide receiver, Dubé Inagene, who came in with 11 catches on the season and averaging over 21 yards per catch.
Once again, an unsuccessful first down throw for this team, and that has been one of the key issues with moving the ball. They've been able to make it up with some big throws for touchdowns, but being 2nd and long, 3rd and long, it's been a real issue tonight.
6th play of the drive. Handoff goes to Scott. Scott gets upended by Woods after a short 1-yard gain.
Nice job of Loda Goatway as well, 54, staying to the outside, making Scott have to run that ball back into Woods.
See Ugogwe right there, a 3-year starter on the defensive line for the Raiders, who's committed to Yale.
Don't say that much, committed to Yale, do you? What an honor that is for that young man.
No doubt.
Salute to him.
He can play ball and he can get it done in the classroom too. 3rd down and 9. And a timeout called by North Paulding. And head coach Don Stark with a big 3rd down coming up. And what great strides the Wolfpack have made in their program. They went 6-14, 2-8 in the region in Coach Stark's first 2 seasons after coming from Seminole High School in Florida. And they've gone 12-4 in their last 16 games and won the region championship last year. As you see, there's a man down. That's Woods. Ashton Woods is down on the ground.
Hopefully they're just giving him a good stretch.
Yeah, I think it might just be a cramp. You can see he's got a bloody knee right there.
Where's the pickle juice? Somebody always said, what happened to the pickle juice? Just a jar of...
Ashton Woods, just a tough kid. You mentioned it. Daniel Bruner says, I haven't watched more film with a player in my life as I have with Ashton Woods. It's like a coach out there, has an understanding for the game defensively that just most high school players don't.
And that's what that film study would do at each level. It just gives you that ability to anticipate some plays you feel like you're just dreaming because they've been watching it so long, you can react better.
3rd down and 9. This is a big play. George has it. George gets to the 18 and no more, and there's Ashton Woods again.
Great job getting to the edge is Ashton Wood. Even better job of Ugotwe keeping that pressure, retracting his steps here, 54. This effort doesn't allow George to cut back. that hustle right there forces him to have to take this ball to the outside. You Goatway and Woods making the big play.
So Noble is on to kick. This is going to be a 26-yard or a 36-yard attempt. Going to put it down at the 26. Calvin Scott, the running back, is the holder. Caden Comer is the snapper, number 34. They get it all set. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. 36-yard kick. Cuts it to 6.
And if you're North Paulding and the Wolfpack, Matt, you couldn't ask for a better position to be within a score with a minute left in the third. All the issues you've had offensively and with the penalties and interceptions, and you're still right there with a quarter to go.
There's no doubt. They have been able to hang with the Walton Raiders. You heard John Nelson talk about it when we started the game. Coach Don Stark invoking Rodney Dangerfield. And it's certainly at 5-0 and not ranked by anybody, including us at GPB, in large part because they haven't played a tough schedule. Their opponents, their first 5 opponents, are combined 3-19. But out to prove that, like you said, they're not a fluke.
Definitely are taking the punches, but giving them back. And the grit of this team, I think, is showing tonight with the Wolfpack. They're showing a lot of grit to keep this going.
Kick is away, and it gets blown dead.
There is a flag.
Encroachment, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
So we'll try it again. So Noble doesn't have the leg to consistently get it to the end zone. In fact, he doesn't have any touchbacks at all this season. So now you got to start to get a little creative when you don't have that power leg. Try to find a hole to drop it in.
Try to get some hang time on the kick. Give the coverage team time to get down there.
That's a good lob kick coming down at the 28-yard line with no return. So that's effective, as Lloyd could only just dive and make sure it didn't bounce. So effective sky ball, lob kick, whatever you want to call it. And that gives Walton the ball at the 29 with just under a minute left here in the third quarter.
Still get the sense that the Raiders need to find some semblance of a run game. Right now, this defense is looking for the pass. That's what you're giving them, and you're not able to get behind them. Right now, you still, with Austin Williams, have the ability to run the ball.
How about Ethan Maddox, a double-digit tackle game tonight, couple of tackles for loss. He's lived up to the building. He's got 6 offers: Georgia Southern, Eastern Michigan, Chattanooga. Been leading that defense tonight for North Paulding. And Hecklinski on a quarterback run gets 11 yards on the play. Sheffield making the tackle.
And the secondary, the linebacker, they're playing soft. That's how you've almost matured them so far in this game, that you're going to throw the ball. And those kind of rush lanes are there for Jeremy or any other running back right now. You can see on the back end, the linebackers, the safeties are playing deep.
1st and 10, ball at the 39. Might be the final play of the third quarter. Hecklinski comes near side, nearly picked off. That was a long throw intended for Lloyd, and Matthias Johnson nearly had the pick. And we got a man down for North Paulding. That might be DJ Wilkins, the sophomore, number 96.
Very lucky on this pass here. Looking the receiver down the whole way. Nice job there by Johnson going for the pick there. You can see he knew he had one. He was about half a step too late, but nice break on the ball.
Yeah, we're looking at that right knee. DJ Wilkins, 6'1", 290 sophomore. He's the guy that Coach Stark has said watch for in the future. And he's had a good game here tonight. I mean, this North Paulding defense, Wayne, has been on the field a significant amount of time.
A lot of plays and a lot of dropping back in the coverage, a lot of running. These guys have had to get back up, line up, play on fourth downs.
Yep.
A lot of.
Let's check in with John.
Take you around the state and give you some scores while we're waiting on the injury report over there with North Paulding. Sandy Creek loses tonight. They go down 28-19 to Harris County. So I think it's safe to say that's one of our early shocks of the evening. 28-19, Harris County with a big win over number 4, Sandy Creek in the classification. Benedictine also on the coast, Matt, in a bit of a fight with Kyle Hockman and New Hampstead. Benedictine only leading by 4. 29-25 as they head to the fourth quarter on the coast. And one of the teams that's been kind of sneaking up the rankings out of the mountain region, Lumpkin County, they lead Wesleyan by the score of 23-14. That is now in the third quarter. Keeping an eye on that one as well. BT and Roswell also in a bit of a back and forth. That one is 19-14 BT third quarter. Colquitt, no problem with Tallahassee Lincoln right now, 42-9. That one's in the second half. Back to you upstairs.
Yeah, Nelly, when's the last time Benedictine lost to a team from Georgia during the regular season? That would be an interesting query as they're helping Elkins off the field. That would be a big loss tonight, no doubt about it. They already lost a big defensive lineman in the preseason as well, Malachi Tanksley, who they were counting on this season. Hopefully Elkins can get back, if not tonight, very soon. Now, they've got another week off. Very big quirk in the schedule. This game with Walton is their only game in a 28-day span. Played Pope 2 weeks ago, and then their region openers 2 weeks from tonight against Harrison. So they've got another week off coming up after this one. So second down. Hecklinski slide arms it to Lloyd. Lloyd across the 30, puts on the Murderers, and there he goes. 61-yard catch and run for Cameron Lloyd.
You said it earlier, Matt. A lot of people overlooking Lloyd because he's only 5'8". I told you to research Tyreek Hill. Well, this is similar to what we see with the Dolphins offense. Right here, the explosion of speed, making it a foot race to the end zone. No one is coming within 2 yards of this young man right here, Cameron Lloyd. Once again, good read, good protection, a little sidearm action to get the ball to Lloyd. And you could see the confidence he had that he had the speed to get to the end zone.
Benai with the PAT, and it's 30-17. 61-yard touchdown catch and run for Cameron Lloyd. His fourth touchdown catch of the season. He's had a big night. That puts him up over 100 yards receiving. 130 for Lloyd on 6 receptions. On a night when he went over 100 career catches, that's his 15th career touchdown catch. Cameron Lloyd having a big night for Walton to cap their Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive of 3 plays and 71 yards on a night when Wyatt Sonderman, their leading wide receiver, checked out of the game early with an injured hand. They really needed someone to pick him up.
Coach Bruner said that at halftime. I'm going to have to go in here and get some guys to learn to step up, make some plays. Cameron Lloyd is one of those guys. We've seen it on defense, 3 or 4 guys having to step in and make plays as well. And that's what when you want to win a state championship, it's not just 1 or 2 players. It is a team effort.
Pop-up kick, going to hit the ground, and Anderson covers it at the 34.5. And that will be the final play. Let's see if they're going to get a second on the clock here. The clock shows zeros. That might be the final play of the third quarter. And I think it will be. Yep, teams trading sides. That'll be the end of the quarter. 36 minutes in the books with 12 to go. Walton trying to get to 5-0, and Cameron Lloyd carrying them on their backs.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
In lively towns and peaceful rural areas, Georgia's electric membership cooperatives are on a mission to provide a different kind of electricity. Our not-for-profit, member-owned DMCs are focused on making life better for members. At private residences, farms, and thriving businesses, we work for you. Generating safe, reliable, affordable electricity, giving back to local programs, serving our members to make life brighter. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is brought to you in part by Georgia's EMCs. So much more than electricity.
Welcome back to Raider Valley, getting you ready for the fourth quarter. Margin is now 13. Walton leading North Paulding 30-17. Coaches here in the second half on the Walton sideline. They've been screaming to make sure that pickle juice is for the ready. And Wayne, I'm hoping you can help me out here with anatomy and physiology class as to how all of this works. I've got Pedialyte that is getting pounded here on the sidelines. I'm also hearing calls for mustard. Can you help a man out with the pickle juice and the Pedialyte and the mustard as we get ready for the fourth quarter? What's going on down here?
It's all about the sodium and the potassium. There's so much in pickles and the juice of pickles that, but you know, that was 30 years ago, John. You know, now they have Pedialyte, but a lot of things that get into you and absorb quickly that have a lot of sodium for the cramps.
North Paulding back on offense to start this fourth quarter. They're down 2 scores, 30-17. Walton in the lead. Neer has a pocket, throws, and it's complete to Autenreith, the tight end. First catch for him tonight. A nice one at that. Goes for 23 yards.
Nice job, Autenreith, going up at the top of this, stretching out to get it, running over the safety there, Bam Bride. Finding one of these tight ends. Ajax Anderson had a big screen play earlier, but really haven't talked about the tight end position tonight a lot, and that's the key to this offense.
Autenreith's been offered by SEMO, and Neer's now gone over 200 yards passing tonight. He's at 201. First and 10 for the Wolfpack from the 41. Going up top, got a man out there, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Bride. Deflected by Farrell. And Bride gets the pickoff on the ricochet. That's 5 pickoffs for Walton tonight, and the second by Bride.
Early in the game, we see Farrell give up a misjudgment play up to Javaris George for the big touchdown, where he read the ball wrong. This time, timing it up, staying back, getting that right hand in there, punching the ball back to Bride. Good job. You can see that right hand right there knocks that ball out to Bride. Bride possibly could have just stayed in the end zone. You could see he didn't feel like he was in a position to run it all the way back.
That is 6 turnovers for North Paulding tonight. 5 interceptions plus a fumble. And Walton has committed only 1. It's amazing the game is this close when you give that number. Heklinski under center. Going to hand off to Austin Williams. Williams gets maybe a yard on the play.
Walton, first job on this drive is to get a couple of first downs, eat some of this clock, get the ball out to about the 35, 40, and then that's when you start trying to put in your mind of scoring. But right now you want to flip the field, keep the pressure on North Paulding of having them take long drives.
There's a flag prior to the snap. False start is the call against the Raiders.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So that's going to back up the Raiders to the 5-yard line. Walton has won 10 of their last 11 games since the last time we were here at Raider Valley nearly 1 year ago. And nothing doing. Great pursuit. Kowalski leading the charge for North Paulding on defense, along with Dylan Harris. Third down. They've got to get Walton to punt out of their end zone here.
Have to step up. It's third and long. Got to get the ball back on the short field for your offenses.
Let's see what they let Hecklinski do here.
Changing the play, changing the formation.
They've been very conservative on the first 2 plays of this drive. Now Hecklinski going to run it out of there and pick up the first down. Got slung forward on the tackle, and that helped him pick up the first down as Aiden Maddox threw him forward on a 14-yard pickup.
A little high stepping there to try to create this first down. Jeremy Hecklinski finding that lane, sees that green field, and to bring him down, Aiden Maddox had to swing him forward. Really gave him the last 2 yards to pick up that first down when he had to throw him to get him on the ground.
You heard Hannah and John at halftime. The Wake Forest coaches, members of their coaching staff here watching Hecklinski play tonight. He committed to them at the end of last season. Quick pass right there in the middle to Bride. And Bride's had himself a nice game, got a couple of picks. That's a 10-yard pickup. That's his 5th catch of the night for 59 yards.
Nice RPO game right there. Nice route by Bride as well.
And Bride had only 6 catches total in their first 4 games, and he's nearly matched that tonight. Austin Williams shoots through the middle. Caught from behind, but not until he gets to the 50-yard line. 21-yard pickup.
The hustle of Brandon Lentz is the only thing that's keeping Austin Williams out of the end zone right here. Number 43 comes in, game tackling, score tackling right there, keeping him away. He's excited to finally get a couple of carries, some open space is Austin Williams.
Now Austin Williams is excited to be healthy this season. Turf toe last year really kind of held him back. And you see Dylan Harr, the cornerback, he's down flat on his back. And as they tend to him, we'll step aside.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
Well, we've got a quick break in the action. Did you know that the same area of just one football field can contain up to 95 termite colonies? That's why you need Breda Pest Management to defend your home. Breda, the official pest control of high school football.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an Oxy or Perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Riding riding down the road and you're doing just fine when a car in front of you crosses over the line. They're in your space, not looking at your face. Distracted drivers all over the place. Say, we will buckle up. Sing it. Say, we will buckle up.
Buckle up, Georgia, as we are in the fourth quarter tonight at Raider Valley. The fifth-ranked and undefeated Walton Raiders trying to stay that way. They've got a 2-touchdown lead, 30-17, trying to go on a time-bleeding drive here and put this game away. Sixth play of the drive coming up. Hecklinski up top, and Bride was the intended target, but it wasn't close.
Two defenders back. Alex Carlisle, the safety, not letting Bride get behind him. Just throwing up for grabs there is Hecklinski.
Coach Bruner says that Jeremy's really been soaking it in this season. You see the numbers. He's below 50% completion, which is well off of his season average of 68%. But he's at 240 yards, a couple of touchdown passes, and a touchdown run as well. Second down and 10. To the outside it goes. Hunter Teal makes a man miss. Hunter Teal carrying defenders all the way down to the 21-yard line.
Hunter Teal looking like that star tight end up in Athens right here. Bowers out in the open field showing you some moves. Hard running at the end right there. What a delightful player to watch is this young man right here, the 3-star headed to Miami of Ohio.
He's at 73 yards receiving on 5 catches tonight. From a production standpoint, not a recruiting standpoint, but a production standpoint, might be the most productive tight end in the state. And you're talking about a tight end who came into tonight with 87 career catches, 5 more tonight. So in the very near future, he's going to have over 100 yards, or rather over 100 receptions. He's over 1,500 yards in receiving for his career. Just a really solid tight end. He's now at 1525.
Great hands, great routes, and right there showing you exceptional speed. And for the way tight ends are used now, I don't know that you'd have to be 6'5", 6'6" anymore.
Austin Williams going to get caught from behind that time. Great pursuit by the North Paulding defense. Kowalski again getting in there. He's had a good game.
Ethan Maddox, Kowalski for North Paulding. On the other side, we saw Thorner. We've seen Woods. We've even seen Noah LaValle. These linebackers have been tilted, playing downhill, making plays behind the line of scrimmage. Great job there by Kowalski.
3rd and 13. Empty backfield set for Hecklinski. Pressure off the edge. Maddox got to him. He got rid of it. And it's going to be complete to Lloyd. Amazing. Hecklinski had Maddox in his grill and still delivered a strike down the field for 16 yards.
Big pressure, number 9 coming off the edge. Good job there by Cameron Lloyd. We talked about a couple of blocks he had in the first half, but in this half, great job coming across the field, seeing the safety, so he knew he had to catch it and stop before he ran into the big hit, but nice job of him with the catch and the big play.
7 catches, 146 for Lloyd tonight. Hecklinski spins, throws, and popped up into the air incomplete. Dylan Haar was able to get his hands on that ball.
Second down and goal.
Hecklinski getting away with a little roll out of a mistake right there, throwing that ball. Lucky he didn't get it intercepted. Good coverage there by Danny Pitts on Hunter Teal.
This is for your safety. We care about you and your safety.
A little confusion in the back of the end zone, having to clear a couple of people out, make sure the players are safe and this situation doesn't run into a fan. Going out of the I formation here is Walton.
Hecklinski comes back in there with the tunnel screen to Bride. And Bride, did he get in there? He did. Touchdown for Bam Bride.
It's about the 4th time tonight they've kind of drawn up this tunnel screen specifically for Bam Bride here. This time able to get behind the blocking on the cutback, get upfield, shoulder square, running through tackles, and yes, he did break the line with the ball before his knees hit.
7-yard touchdown catch. Sonderman's there to greet him. First touchdown catch of the night for Bride. He's also got 2 picks. So, I mean, I tell you what.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, the 15 yards being forced on the kickoff.
I mean, Bride and Lloyd have really picked up Walton tonight. Those guys have had extraordinary games.
2 players that have been playing the 2nd and 3rd role to Wyatt Sunderman.
Yeah, they've been good, but not great. They haven't been the stars.
Right.
Tonight, they've been the stars.
They've been the stars tonight, had to step up and make up that difference that Wyatt typically brings, and they've done a great job here in this second half.
Benai with the PAT, capping a 92-yard drive that bled nearly 5 minutes off the clock. Bam! And it's a 20-point lead for Walton.
At TELUS Science Museum, the magic of discovery is larger than life. With tons of interactive exhibits and stunning visuals, come experience the magic of TELUS.
Today's conservation-minded consumer cares about where their energy comes from. Your local EMC cares too. Georgia's electric membership cooperatives offer renewable options for our members. In fact, our solar portfolio will produce enough clean energy to power more than 180,000 households, striving to move the needle toward progress and position communities for the future. Georgia's EMCs, so much more than electricity.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Back in Raider Valley, East Cobb, Georgia. You saw Jeremy Hecklinski pointing at Bam Bride. He had the 7-yard touchdown catch to cap the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign scoring drive of 12 plays, 92 yards. Matt Stewart, Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, our GPB Emmy-winning sports team here tonight. Hope you've enjoyed another Football Friday in Georgia. Stick around into the game. We'll tell you where we're going to be next Friday night as well. Kick from Benai coming down at the 24. George on the return. And George across the 50. I'll tell you what, Javarius George has been a bundle of excitement tonight.
A one-man show on special teams. Had a big return early in the game. They got called back, but what excitement he brings, the big touchdown catches as well. This young man right here, offers are just going up and up and up. We know he has a Western Kentucky offer, over 11 offers, but excitement. His coach told us that he's just one of those players, you get him the ball, and he makes your jaw drop.
If you're a college coach and watching, you haven't offered him yet, the question is, why not? North Paulding back on offense at the Walton 39. Handoff goes to Scott. Big hole for Calvin Scott. Got him on the ground at the 23, but Tyson McCrary making the tackle, but North Paulding not going quietly here with 6 minutes to play.
And one of the rare running plays. We haven't really seen a lot of running by this North Paulding team. Nice job by Scott hitting it up in there. We saw Jaden Clayton when he got a couple of times in there, able to make some yardage.
North Paulding needs to maybe pick up the pace a little bit. Down 20 points right now with under 6 to go. Scott, handoff, another big run for Calvin Scott. All the way down to the 6. Where's this been all night? Standard made the touchdown saving tackle. That's 18 yards.
Nice job, good vision. Look to the cut back here. Nice job by Scott. We talked about these two backs having the ability to take over a game. Almost 7 yards of carry as an offense. Just haven't been used a lot tonight. And now Jaden Clayton is in there in the backfield.
First and goal to go. He's the bigger of the two. They give it to him. And he's down to the 4.
Made by number 7, Ashton Wood.
Looks like they're going to send in the heavy package here. You see both of the Maddox brothers coming in on the offensive side. You see Danny Pitts coming in as well.
Pitt's going to take a direct snap, it looks like, and the play gets blown dead because timeout called by North Paulding. No, Walton. I was going to say, why
would I call?
Why would they call the timeout? They had the element of surprise in their favor. Walton said, no. We're going to call the timeout and talk about this. And we'll step aside as Walton burns the timeout, leading by 20.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
At Regions Bank, we're here to listen to your needs, and we'll customize a plan to help you reach your financial goals. Our service to Georgia goes beyond banking to creating more inclusive prosperity in our communities. From education to financial wellness to economic development, we're working to level the playing field so more people can succeed and our communities can thrive.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
37-17, Walton with the 20-point lead late in this game now. Coming up next, Friday night, we have two of the top quarterbacks in the nation on the GPB platform. Our TV game on GPB TV. Juju Lewis, committed to Southern Cal, taking the Carrollton Trojans to Sharpsburg to take on undefeated East Coweta, once beaten East Coweta, I should say. And then on our web game, Air Nolan and Langston Hughes Panthers, defending 6A champions, will be at East Paulding. So Juju Lewis and Air Nolan on the GPB platform next Friday night. Coming out of the timeout, 2nd down and goal. They stay with the power package, and Pitts, I think he made him jump, or did he make his offensive line jump?
Daniel Calhoun, big 77 in the middle. Went a little early right over the ball, trying to get underneath that double team block. Looks like they're going to call it maybe a false start.
False start. Yeah. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
When he clapped his hands, he made his offensive line jump. So now they get the power package out of there. They get Near back in there at quarterback. That's 13 penalties for the Wolfpack tonight, totaling 114 yards.
Still shifting in motion. A lot of different parts moving.
Neer slings it out here to Scott. Scott makes one man miss, cuts back and scores the touchdown for North Paulding. Goes for 9 yards. And now it's 37-23.
Nice job slipping out the backfield. No one out there in coverage. One man to make miss here. Calvin Scott out there making Ethan Stannard miss, walking into the end zone for the touchdown.
Third touchdown pass of the night for Tyler Neer. Scott, who made the touchdown catch, will stay in and hold for the kick. Gets it up and in. It's 37-24 now. So it's a 13-point game with 4:38 to go. Walton hasn't put this in the bank yet. Let's check in with John.
All right, let's take the tour and let you know what else is going on around the state. Down in South Georgia, Lee County, Houston County, obviously that one's back and forth late third quarter. Last time we had that one was tied at 28. Starting to get some finals, and we can now update. Hoco now leading 35-28. Colquitt County goes to 6-0 tonight, beating Tallahassee Lincoln by the final of 56-16. Sly County goes to 6-0. They're top ranked for a reason. They beat Chatco 56-7. They are now at 6-0. Also down south, a lot of zeros on the board tonight. Bainbridge shuts out Brooks 35-0. Thomas County Central over Veterans by 52. Cairo beat Shaw 38-0. Warner Robins over Ola 28-27 in a nail biter in Middle Georgia. And Swainsboro over Irwin County by the final of 26-0. So Swainsboro still coming up strong, Matt. Top of the rankings in Class A D2.
Yeah, finalists last year losing to Prince Avenue. Ty Adams, who went on to North Carolina, their quarterback, a cornerback in college. There's the bouncing kick, and it's still available, but Walton is able to cover that thing at the 43. And now we got some guys pushing and shoving, and the flags come out.
Nice job by Max McRaney, able to cover that ball, 43. Kind of bounced in a crowd of people, and he was able to, on one bounce, be able to corral it, the young sophomore.
Yeah, that ball was available pretty far downfield, where McRaney was able to get on top of it. Let's check the call, who's going to be called for the unsportsmanlike penalty here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against Blue. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, wow, so it's going against Walton. And that's going to push it back to the 29-yard line. North Paulding has 2 timeouts remaining. Walton starting to get into that territory where they can put this game away with a couple of first downs. 2 might do it, maybe 3. So North Paulding's got to keep them from doing that, get the ball back, score twice before this game's over.
Taking time off the clock is the key for Walton in this drive here. They're still in a spread offense, but you imagine soft box, 6'5" people in the box. They're going to run the ball with Williams.
Quick throw, Heklinski, it's complete. McRaney, who just got on top of that onside kick with the catch. It's his first of the season. 31 yards for the sophomore wide receiver.
Nice read by Heklinski once again. RPO game, holding in there a long time, watching his receiver. McRaney slipped down the sideline, wide open out on the edge, not able to get over there in time as Alex Carlisle.
That flips the field. 303 yards passing now for Heklinski tonight. Pass thrown to Lloyd. He slips trying to make the cut. Goes down, maybe lost a yard on the play. So Heklinski is approaching 7,000 for his career. He came in at 6.657. So I think he's about 40 yards shy of hitting the 7,000 number for his career.
Still spreading them out, trying to get the soft box. This RPO game is all about bodies in the middle. It feels like he has a 5-man box for his offensive line. He can run the ball, but as he's shown, he can read, option, and throw it as well.
Austin Williams on the run. Not going to escape the grasp of Malik Daly.
Nice job of 95, Malik Daly working down a lot in scrimmage.
North Paulding burns their second timeout as the clock is now wound down below 4. All right, send it back down to John.
All right, we're getting finals trickling in. We'll give you some winners tonight, possibly some surprises as we roll through. Wilcox a winner in single A. Toombs County continues to be unbeaten. We'll catch up with them at gpb.org. Buddy Martin in his first season at Toombs County. They get the big win tonight, 42-0 over Brantley. Dodge and Worth right now in a shootout tied at 34. Cook a winner tonight down in South Georgia in AA. Dublin and Charlton County, interesting history with those two schools. Dublin dominates tonight 41-7. Tift and Northside, an interesting score, tied at 28 in the fourth quarter with everything going on down at Tift. Noel Dean announced this week that he is not going to renew his contract at Tift County. Tift and Northside, Tift needing a win in the worst way, tied at 28 in the fourth quarter. Jeff Davis a winner, Bacon a winner, and Crisp a winner over Doherty, Matt.
Good work there, Nelly. Of course, you can download the GPB Sports app and do like the pro does. Get all the scores from around the state. Down to 3:49 to go. North Paulding has one timeout remaining, so we're entering into that place where another first down might be enough to put this game away. It's 3rd and 10 coming up. Hecklinski pressure, got it out of there, and it's caught by Teal inside the 20-yard line, and Teal will score the touchdown. Oh my goodness. I mean, Hecklinski got leveled and still got that ball out of there.
Once again, big-time pressure off the edge by Aiden Maddox. Jeremy Hecklinski showing the toughness. The senior right here is going to sit in here, take the big hit onto that right shoulder, but deliver the ball down to his favorite target in the second half, Hunter Teal, working down the sideline wide open, and then after the catch, Hunter Teal impressing big again, making people miss and running into the end zone.
PAT by Benet. Benet's going to put it through, and it's 44-24. With 3:40 to go. Just what a play by Hecklinski. You knew he sensed the pressure coming. He knew he was going to get hit. He stood in there and got the ball to Teal for the touchdown. And Hecklinski now 23 of 43 for 341, 4 touchdown passes, and a touchdown rushing.
That was a great night when you look at it.
It's turned into a great night.
It's turned into a great night. It's been a hard-fought night for him as well. Has had to move around the pocket, as we were just talking about, taking some big hits.
And he's now just 2 yards shy of 7,000 for his career. He's at 6,998 career passing yards. I think Wake Forest has a good one.
They have a great guy, and as Coach Bruner talked about, not just on the field, but off with his charity work and how he is in the community.
Pop-up kick is going to be downed at the 35, and that's where North Paulding is going to go back on offense. But, we say that Wake Forest has a good one. Well, Walton does too, and he's a big reason why, we started the night talking about Walton perhaps has the ingredients to win that first state championship this year. And, quite frankly, number 12 right there is a big reason why we have that conversation.
His leadership has been key for this team, his toughness as well. And the thing they got tonight with the different injuries, they saw guys step up. They saw guys perform at another level to try to get this win.
And that's a one-handed catch by Nagy. Austin Nagy comes up with the catch at the 41-yard line.
Alongside number 22, Oliver Skia.
Second down and 4, ball at the 41. Ball goes to Anderson, and Anderson will have the first down as he crashes out to the 50-yard line. North Paulding keeps coming at him, but they got the clock working against him now.
Alongside number 33, Todd Haley.
Tyler Neer still in there fighting. You expect that out of this young man. Only a sophomore, but you can see the potential he has going forward.
Broken up by Bride, who's already got 2 interceptions tonight. Tyler Neer, 9 for 25, 216, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Heavy rush. Gets away from it. Slides down at the 47 ahead of LaValle's tackle.
Something that you don't really see Neer do a lot. You would imagine a smaller quarterback like him would have a lot of carries, but he is a true pocket passer. He really doesn't run the ball. That's his first carry of the game.
Third down and 7. Stands in there downfield. That's another interception. 6th interception of the night. And bringing it back the other way is Kieran Smith. Kieran Smith trying to get the edge. And now he goes back into the middle of the field. Kieran Smith, 6 interceptions for that Walton defense tonight. They had 5 in their first 4 games, 6 more tonight. They are going to inflate that turnover margin that was already +7 coming into the game.
Where's the turnover chain, Matt? I mean,
exactly.
At this point, they could have created one on the sideline, put some cups together, but great job. Staying back.
During return, you got illegal block in the back. On the return team, 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Early on, safeties getting caught looking in the backfield. I don't know if they knew that Tyler Neer had that kind of arm strength that he showed. Now, over the last 2.5 quarters, you see them stay back, and a lot of these balls, they've just been more center field. They're just catching the ball. He's throwing it out there, and the safety is coming over and taking the ball.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you're exactly right. They were a little bit caught off guard by the strength of Neer's arm, but they have made the adjustment. So Walton now just 2 minutes now, less than that away from improving to 5-0 in the season.
Number 51, Mark David.
And the Raiders have North Cobb next Friday night in their Region 5 7A opener. And as Coach Daniel Bruner put it, North Cobb's been a booger for them. I mean, we saw them wear Walton out on this field last year. So that'll be a big challenge.
False start, offense, half the distance to the goal, second down.
And if Walton's going to win a region title this year, and that's a big goal for Walton. They haven't won one since 2017. That's one of their 3 big goals, to win the opener, win the region, win the finisher, the championship game. If they're going to win the region championship, they're going to have to probably win at North Cobb next week.
And how healthy is their team?
Yeah.
We've seen some of their stars go out tonight. Will they get Sunderman back? Will they get Butterfield back, Batterford back next week as well?
Pass complete to Lloyd. Flag out, might be coming back. Lloyd still up to the 27-yard line. And we got a Walton player down. That's big Daniel Calhoun, committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. Got some tree trunks there they're stretching out.
Calhoun.
And we got a North Cobb player down, too.
6'6", 360 pounds. So his dad out there. His dad's
North Paulding, I meant, of course.
So his dad said his nickname is the Beast, and rightfully so. Oh, it's like maybe just a cramp.
And they'll sit downfield. Offense, half the distance to the goal, second down.
That is a big young man. Committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. Consensus 4-star. Picked Georgia back on July 5th over 19 other offers. Highest ranking 24/7 Sports. Number 4 interior offensive lineman. You think he's a tackle, though?
Yeah, he's definitely a right tackle. At that height, that body type, that I just see him planted over a couple of miles southwest of here, though. Really don't really see him northeast. Southwest of here, there's a small town down 85 South that would love to have him.
Your alma mater, perhaps? Is that what you're alluding to? I believe that's where you're going with this. Got a chance to speak to him briefly, wishing the best before the game tonight. And he's got a couple of brothers that have played college football. What's interesting, though, is Daniel Bruner says he bounces around out there like he's 5'10". Heklinski going to run it here. And Heklinski dives forward. And you're wondering, why is Heklinski still in the game? A conversation we had with Daniel Bruner maybe explains that a little bit. He says he'll go in the locker room an hour after the game, and the locker room's empty, and Jeremy's still in there. He knows that the time is ticking off on his senior season. He's just trying to soak it all in and enjoy it as much as possible.
This has been a hard-fought victory for him tonight. He's been back and forth, had some big moments. Has made some great throws. Trust me, he's going to want to take that victory meal if he can for all the energy he had to expend tonight to win.
That might be it. Walton Raiders going to hand North Paulding their first loss of the season. Wolfpack fight them hard, but dropped to 5-1 ahead of their regional opener 2 weeks from now against 6-0 Harrison. And Walton now 5-0, 3-0 at home, and their region opener coming next week at North Cobb, which should be a heck of a ball game.
North Paulding, about 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters, really put up a fight. They came in and had that mission of making this offense have to fight for every yard. They did that, made some big plays. Just eventually the dam broke and the Raiders ran through.
Time now for our coach's interview, brought to you again by Johnny's New York-style pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria. And John Nelson standing by with winning coach Daniel Bruner.
All right, let's get the full pie on this one. Let's talk about more than just a slice of tonight. Let's talk about the full pie. This one was a grinder for you tonight. I mean, they slowed it down in the first half, and then third quarter it seemed like you finally hit a bit of a rhythm, but they were not going to quit over on that other sideline.
No, I mean, that's a heck of a ball club. They played us tough, and we needed this. We needed to be played tough in 4-quarter ball game, and we got banged up. We had some guys step up, just a little disappointed in our discipline tonight. And from a penalty situation standpoint, missed assignments, we got to get that stuff cleaned up. But happy to get the win tonight.
6 turnovers, 6 picks. I mean, it was dominant with that secondary, keeping an eye on a very talented quarterback tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've set out some objectives to create disruptions, and we sure did that tonight. We're forcing turnovers, which is what you want to do. We just got to minimize some of those big plays they hit us on. But other than that, I think the defense played pretty well.
Once again, thanks for your time. Thanks for being great host, as you always are. Great win tonight.
Thanks so much. Go Raiders.
That is the coach's interview, brought to us by our friends at Johnny's New York-style pizza, your original neighborhood pizzeria. And we've got a quarterback. We're going to do a hot tag here. Our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game, the Georgia Cotton Commission, the natural choice for Georgia. The red works well for you. Nicely done. North of 340 yards on the air, 1 on the ground for you tonight. But this one was a grinder for you. They slowed you guys down in the first half.
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff up front with their down 4, a lot of twists, a lot of linebacker blitzes.
It took us longer than we thought it would to pick it up and figure it out, but once we got rolling with it, we kind of got rolling with it. We put a good second half together. Obviously, got stalled out those first 2 drives, but we made it work.
I was going to say, what was the conversation like at half, knowing that this one was a grinder for you to make sure that everything was going to happen in the second half?
Yeah, it was. This is our first test. This is our first battle, and coach was like, "Let's just go out there and have fun." And we knew we were going to come out here and win it. It was just a matter of when it was going to be, third quarter, fourth quarter. Yeah.
So when you look at the receivers, we noticed that there's a lot of imagination that you have out there. You're coming at it from different angles. It's all over the place. When you're trying to figure out what you're doing, do you have a chance to sit there and look at what you've done and enjoy the brain work in the 3 dimensions that you're thinking?
Yeah, there's times here and there, like Hunter on the touchdown after half, and then CL on his little, 80-yard, whatever it was. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, we've got a good team. We got a good group of receivers. Just lost White Sonderman tonight, which was big. It would have been a big part, but yeah, man. I love football. I love it.
Had a decent night. Thanks for hanging out with us again.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
We'll keep an eye on this guy. Our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game, Jeremy Heklinski, north of 340 passing, 4 in the air, 1 on the ground. Matt, busy night for this guy. He leaves with the hardware. You get to wrap us up.
Thank you, Nelly. Do appreciate it. Heklinski, it's been a pleasure watching this young man, and hopefully we're going to see him a lot more here before his senior season is over. But I love the way he handles the interview.
Great interview, and he gave all the credit to his team. He saw what they went through fighting. Gritty win for them, something that builds character going into big games later in the year.
They got one next week. They're now 5-0 in the season with their victory here tonight. Be sure to join us next Friday night as the Carrollton Trojans take on the East Coweta Indians. That's our game of the week next Friday night, 7:30, right here on GPB TV. If you missed portions of tonight's game or just want to see it again, you can catch a full replay later this evening at 11:30 or in the coming week at gpb.org/sports on demand. Once again, the final 44-24. Walton defeats North Paulding. Now for Wayne Gandy, John Nelson, Hannah Gooden, our executive producer, Kevin Gerke, our game producer, Glenn Diamond, and our director, A.J. Keene. I'm Matt Stewart. Good night from East Cobb. This has been a presentation of GPB Sports.
Football Fridays in Georgia on GPB is presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to be safe on every trip. Buckle up, Georgia.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Cigna Healthcare is a proud partner of Georgia Public Broadcasting and Football Fridays. Cigna Healthcare's mission is to improve the health and vitality of those we serve. Visit Cigna.com to learn how you can support your physical and emotional well-being.
The slightest moment of hesitation of getting off the block can lose or give you 100th of a second. It's like super fast.
Great athletes don't just go up and down and get tired. They're thinking all the time and they're trying to do the little things right. His best swimming's definitely ahead of him. He is improving every day.
DBHDD and the Governor's Red Ribbon Campaign is all about Georgians standing together for substance misuse prevention. Be kind to your mind. Live drug-free. Learn more about healthy alternatives and living a drug-free lifestyle at garedribbon.org.
Half of the nation's opioid overdoses happen right at home because people don't understand the dangers of taking an Oxy or Perk with a glass of alcohol for stress or to sleep. Learn how to protect your family from opioid overdose at opioidresponse.info.